Hello, everybody. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? How do you do? Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening. How's everyone doing today? Got a little funky shirt on. Man, okay. I need to take a swig of this coffee here. Hold on. Hey! It's time. JT streams with the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, man, for the support. Hold on, let me get these the quick little hellos to everyone. I don't have my creator dashboard up, so hold on 1 second. Hello, YouTube chat. Chris Picard, hello, how you doing? Let's go take a look at the channel bar redemption, see who's here, see how everyone is doing. So we have a Confizzled, Hypersova, Telly Gaga, Lacen Fora, Clowns, Diosagtka, Paydanuki Creations, or Creations 84, Sloth RNG, the Space One, Hygia, Levitt 6N, Nicholas, Zempekias, JT Streams, Nicholas with the Hydrate, hello. Birdie, Metacalypse, Winne, Player JJ430, Gidog. It's my favorite Idleon mob. I think Sheepies. Dino Clear, Tim, Madman, Scromlo Blomblo, Lil Bula, and then Crymore's leaving. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. Risen Deads, Lara Baco. We have on YouTube chat, we have Jolo TB. We have Zach. Hello. Back over to Twitch, we have Boats and Shoes 1337, Vesxy, Nicholas. Oh no. All right. God damn it. What color? Rainbow. I don't know. All right, well, I guess we have wide cam. I'm doing clammies. Update? I don't know if there's an update. Reminds me, hold on 1 sec, guys. I need to temporarily disable wide cam just because we're going to be doing some React content today. I'm very excited. Someone remind me to re-enable this. My wife has a non-emergency procedure. She was getting her eyes dilated. And I don't know if you guys know, but dilating your eyes does knock you out for like an entire day. So I had to take care of her that day. Anyways, hold on. I need to go ahead and I guess pull this up. And then I guess my camera, that'd be important. Hold on, what if I that's dumb. Hey, hold on 1 sec. What if I just like put the YouTube video here and then like, brother, you aren't even subscribed. I'm doing it for the bit. Hold on. I'm gonna subscribe. Guys, right here. Wait. Oh no. Hold on. Oh, it's going so bad. Subscribe. There we go. Okay, guys, here's what I want everyone to do right now. Since I'm going to be watching and reacting to it, that doesn't provide GT views or anything. So go watch the video in parallel to mine, just mute his, I guess, and then watch the stream. To give him the view count, give him the retention, like the video, comments, you know, hey, hello from Idle Main Zed's community. We do not like feet, in fact. Okay. I know about Evan Kelp. Course, I haven't been subscribed to Dropout TV in a while, but I do want to get my subscription back so I can catch up because I only saw the first episode of Misfits and Magic. Anyways, I gotta hold on. Everything's fucked up. Okay, hold on. Let's go ahead and theater mode this. Then zoom out. Perfect. Wonderful. YouTube chat, how do you increase your damage stuck on World 7? Increase your stats. Thanks, homie. Didn't even think about that. About what? Oh, yeah, the viewer. Yeah, no problem. Okay, cool. Well, want to give you guys a little bit of context about what this is and why I'm doing a react video for this. So JT reached out to me. He's a YouTuber that does, I guess, like documentary style videos. They're very, very long, very in depth, very funny. And he, consulted me on, Idleon stuff to kind of, make sure things were more or less factually accurate, and got my opinion about Idleon and some things that have happened in the past and current events, as well as making a rather interesting story along the way. So I'm excited to react to this because this was a fun project to work on behind the scenes. Thank you, JT, for allowing me to be part of it. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the shout out as always. So thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and react to this live on stream. I've not seen the video. I've just seen a rough script, so that's about it. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump into it. Music off and let it go. Let's first test and make sure that audio works here.
In 2012, actor Mike...
You guys hear it? Testing, testing. I guess I could go full screen, huh? No, I kind of, just in case it's like graphics at the bottom right, Volume good. Monty, please, please. Your claimies are running? Absolutely. I'm gonna run it in theater mode just so you guys can see the title video, whatever. Hey, Jonas. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and restart it.
Good morning. In 2012, actor Michael Mando, now of Better Call Saul fame, was cast as the antagonist for the video game Far Cry 3, and one of the earliest instances of video game virality was born. Mando's character, Vas Montenegro, iconically toys with and chides the game's protagonist while you try to search an island in search of your friends after crash landing. More than once, Vas has the character dead to rights. It would be so easy to dispatch you. But instead we get lectured. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Vas asks the player, and by extension you, the audience. Insanity, he explains, is doing the same thing again and again and again, and expecting different results. Only after repeatedly telling you the futilities of repetition does Vas actually attempt to finish you off. But this isn't the story of Vas or his brother Haas, who controls the local avocado trade.
Fun fact, Haas was actually my previous handle for many video games. It was Haas HFG, and then became main HFG, and now it's main Zed. So here we are.
This is the story of my 20s and how I went insane. Just as Vas asks,
just like everyone,
I'll ask you, what is a video game? What are its components, and what does it require? What is widely considered to be the first video game, 1958's Tennis for Two, was played on...
It's the origin and main. I don't know, I just like lions. They look cool, and I guess they made a good profile picture. That's basically it.
On an oscilloscope, and its assignment as a video game came from the player's ability to influence the game via active participation. To me and many others, this is the key part of what makes a video game a video game. Moving forward to the arcade era and later the home gaming eras, this aspect persisted. When you input a command, something happens on screen, and progress is therefore gated by your ability to input the correct command.
Whoa. No.
Actively run and jump
none of that.
You must actively kill zombies and find the next key to unlock the door and leave. You must actively hunt down and kill the demons to proceed to the next level.
Never. Okay. I have not played OG Doom. I have not played OG Doom or any of the sequels until Doom Eternal, I think. I can't remember legitimately the first video game I think I have ever seen or ever played was, I think, like Maple Story. I played it to get a bit of footage for a bit. That's it.
Defeat the boss robots.
Everyone knows Doom, though, right?
Their weapon against the final boss. The game we're talking about today, Legends of Idleon, is what's referred to as an idle game. Contrasting to the traditional games we just described, in idle games
turn off subs here
and wait. Progression usually isn't dependent on reflexes or skill, instead based loosely on knowledge, but most importantly, on how much real-world time has passed since you last interacted with it. With the latest content introduced, it's arguably more effective to not play the game than to do so actively. Idleon...
I want everyone... Jay, do you make reference to your character? Do you make... Do you bring up the moment, the like absolute mind-boggling moment, because I don't want to spoil it. I think in the interview it was like a what the fuck, you know? Anyways, this man was playing a long con. You do not? Oh my god. Okay. I'll have to tell the story after this, after the video then.
Con is like a Coke freestyle machine for waiting. If you think this sounds boring, you're halfway to the point. Idle hands are the devil's playthings, and an idle mind can be a game developer's favorite toy. Growing up, I had a friend named Ryan who lived with his mother and sister. His parents somewhat estranged from each other. I say somewhat because from time to time throughout the years, his dad would appear like a phantom and stay with him for weeks or months at a time, often without warning. Or maybe there was warning, and they just didn't tell me, the 12-year-old friend of their son. I probably wouldn't have told me either if I was them. Anyway, you'd go over to Ryan's house to hang out, and there, taking up the computer, was Brent. I didn't quite understand it at the time, but Brent was a madman whose utter depravity I couldn't begin to comprehend until the same corruption filled my soul all these years later. A digital kingpin to some, the binary slumlord.
Oh wow.
Brent's
This
main
brings back
destination
memories.
was the MySpace and later Facebook-bound Zynga game, Mafia Wars.
Yep.
In the game, you played as a virtual mobster, spending your in-game energy to complete various tasks
Yep.
and crimes for your digital family.
I
and then
love
waiting
this game.
real-time hours to get more energy in order to repeat the cycle. The family's sole desktop computer was kept in a room at the far edge of the house. A room filled with a couch, bookshelves, various homely decorations, and of course the computer desk. When Brent appeared, however, these all became surfaces for data collection. Pages upon
Hold on. Is the audio good? Can you guys hear over like my interjections? Let me turn up the audio just a little bit. YouTube people are saying they can't hear it that well.
pages, upon scraps, upon napkins, upon pages on every surface, stacked on the desk, pinned under framed photos and novels on the bookshelves, scattered on the floor as if tossed about by an absent wind. Data everywhere. Top to bottom, front and back, margins crammed to their physical capacity. Sloppily structured columns and lines filled with the usernames of his fellow online mobsters. The columns listed names,
That's
roles,
crazy.
whether they are able to boost other players or pay for microtransactions, the times they were online, both in their time zone and also in Brent's. Basically every metric you could imagine for tracking and organizing a virtual family. Some sheets would be nothing but lonely towers of numbers looming off the page to try and find their legend. No indication of where in the piles they belong, a duty of remembrance silently tasked to their creator. Looking back, I don't see why Brent didn't use, like, a spreadsheet. Brent was a smart guy. I'm really not trying to demonize him here with my storytelling. He seemed like a smart cookie. If it came down to it, I'm sure he would have had no issue finding a cracked copy of Excel, or he could have just asked one of his many subordinates to find it for him. What if one of their many dogs came into the room and tussled things about? La cosa no mostra, I guess. Because the story takes place in the Midwest, their family drank a lot of sweet tea, though their consumption would surge and peak whenever Brent would move his base of operations into the home. It was, of course, our beloved baby boy Ryan's chore to make sure the jug of sweet tea never got low enough to even suggest the idea of one day being empty. To many a people around these parts, sweet tea is their lifeblood. So it's really not much of a stretch to say that Ryan's brewing duties kept his father alive.
Awful.
And in a way, those steeping tea bags were like vertebrae in the backbone of his father's career. I wonder how many people carried on in their Mafia War lives, not knowing a 12-year-old boy's chore schedule kept them from the brink of ruin. However, the jug of sweet tea was not a very large jug, and as I've just poetically conveyed, the man drank a lot of sweet tea. Our merry band of dweebs would be doing something, and from that end of the house we'd hear the steeper's call of, "Ryan, no tea." I wonder if Brent has ever played Idleon. Because much like Idleon, Mafia
Okay, call me back up to give you the 10 gifted subs. Holy shit. Big.
Wars was an idle game, and could reasonably be considered Idleon's grandpa, or at least the weird uncle that's no longer invited to Thanksgiving. In Mafia Wars, time is a currency you can accumulate and invest into completing actions which leads to progression.
Calling it the
In Idleon, the passive
grandpa.
time itself is the active investment. Both require the passive use of your real-time hours of your actual life, a gate which can be merrily hopped over by paying real actual money from your wallet. This story of my friend's father is almost 2 decades old at this point. So what happens to
Holy
those
shit.
games and concepts with a time investment of such scale? What is the natural evolution of
Yaffa.
that type of game when it isn't malicious, when the goal is fun instead of exploitation?
Dude, like, how long have you been making this video? Because this was the summer event for the dig locations. Was this like B-roll you had from back then? Or have you actually just been making it this entire time? Holy shit. Oh, well.
My endless boredom odysseys, I'm led to believe that evolution leads to Idleon, with more active and interactive elements that give things a more traditional feel, while still having progression gated to real-world time passed.
This game's Idleon?
At its very core, the DNA of Idleon is the same as Farmville. Click this, and wait. The fact that there is an endless labyrinth of systems and mechanics overlapping and interconnecting, twisting and turning to be stuffed into the gaps between each other, that's just the cherry on top. Despite the heart of these games being waiting and the commitment being of time spent passively, I would watch Brent sit at that computer desk for hours or days at a time, breaking only to use the restroom, to sleep, to get more sweet tea. Sometimes he slept.
I know everyone here has had that same experience. At least I have, you know?
On the couch in the same.
Maybe not sweet tea, maybe Dr. Pepper, or a cup of coffee nowadays.
Room, so he could more readily access his middle-of-the-night tasks. I thought it was odd. I thought it was insane. I thought he was an absolute lunatic to spend his days hunched over his keyboard and his notes, planning the kidnapping and extortion of pixels and integers. What could possibly entice a man to wake in the night and disrupt his own rest, just to go click a few digital buttons that would have no tangible real-life effects whatsoever? Then May 30th, 2024 came along, and it happened to me. On that day, I opened Steam to see Idleon being promoted, with a big in-game bonus promised to those who created a new account. The game's free to play, so why not? Years ago, before they contemplated selling off all of our genetic data to questionable actors, I did a 23andMe test and it told me that my heritage is 1% Jewish. Due to that, I can proudly say and with my chest, I like free shit. I glanced at the game and, charmed by its art style, thought it might be
I can't react to that.
something I could waste a few hours with in the background of doing other important computer tasks. I downloaded it and created an account, but I had to think of a name for my first character. I'm not getting deeply invested in this game, I told myself. Probably won't even come back to it after today. I typed the first thing that came to mind, Sporg124.
I think now's a good time to talk about this. I'm gonna pull this off on the side real quick. This man playing the fucking long con with this, okay? He played the absolute long con because look at this shit. This man made me rage quit a review and I didn't even know it was him. 4 minutes. This is on record as like one of the shortest account reviews I have ever done. This was 9 months ago. I gave an account review to this man and his account was so bad I stopped doing the account review in 4 minutes. This motherfucker. And then towards... Oh man, okay.
Not knowing that would effectively be the name used to identify and refer to my account. I did not record footage of this then because why would I? For illustrative purposes, I make a new account now, named Gaping Peehole. The opening of Idleon is a cinematic experience. Your character slashes their way through the world before encountering the Troll.
Didn't you say that review? Yes. So I didn't want to bring, I don't know what the rest of the video entails, but Jay did interview me for this video and he dropped that bomb on me. And, you know, it was around that time where I was getting a little bit more aggressive in reviews. And I like kind of took a step back from it and I realized, you know, that's not really helping or serving anyone. I feel like the rage content is not fitting for me. So it was around that time I realized I kind of need to reorient myself doing account reviews and be a little bit more constructive. So I think it was post Sporg that I tried to be a little bit more enthusiastic and positive towards people's accounts, no matter how bad they were. occasional little crash out moments, but yeah, I tried to limit that as much as possible going into reviews after Sporg.
Who kindly convinces you to jump into a giant hole. Your lifeless body then ragdolls down several maps before landing in the World 1 town. At this point, you can do whatever you want, as long as that includes either mining, chopping, or slaughtering defenseless little precious green mushrooms. They don't even have arms, man! If you want to make any form of real progress, you at least have to chat with Scripticus and loosely follow along with quests until you're able to assign a class for your character. In order to progress through the maps and follow the game's progression, you assign your character to a location and you leave them alone.
Holy.
After a certain amount of enemies have been slain, the next map opens up and you can do it again.
2 drop last names. Amazing.
New landscape, new item drop, yada yada yada. On the second map after the innocent green mushrooms, you'll encounter the NPC Prometheus, who grants your character a class promotion to either an archer, warrior, or mage. Aside from the class-specific attacks and abilities,
I'll say should have been warrior, archer, mage for the parallelism there, but hey, you know, we all make mistakes. We're not perfect.
each type also specializes in one or more types of resource collection, adding another layer to the spaghetti plate of planning. Mages favor chopping, archers bug catching, and warriors prefer to mine. It's around this time you may also unlock your second character, depending on how much time you've left the game to just do its thing.
Oh, call me back up. He's got a riptide.
You can name it something like Malformed Peehole, but not really, because I've obviously just taken the name for myself. Before this video is over, I'm going to have the whole urethral family to myself, stuck on an account I'll likely never touch again. Have the because
You would,
just do its
Look, it's you. Look, it's you. He's right there. Everyone go trade him in game.
thing. Just take family to myself, stuck on an account I'll likely never touch again. Good riddance. This is the point where the game started to actually make sense to me. You have your main character,
that reminds me.
Sporg or Peehole Man, who can be left to keep making progress fighting through the worlds while you're setting up Malformed Peehole to go waste his life away mining in the dark, away from the sunshine and any feeling of love. But wait, it'd be more effective if Malformed Peehole at least made it over to Prometheus so he can spec into a warrior in order to receive all the mining-related bonuses that come with that class assignment. Since we just made Sporg a mage, shouldn't we instead let him spend time chopping some oak trees to start building up his woodcutting ability and thus our capacity to procure logs? You leave the game overnight, you come back the next day, and you've gained enough levels to unlock your third character, Rip Tips to Open. And of course the common sense thing would be to make them an archer so your party is rounded out with one of each class, right? You notice there's a total of 12 character slots on the selection screen, and ink fills the pen that scribbles your thoughts onto the back of your brain. Yet every time you make your way to Prometheus, you have to pass through the green mushrooms and the frogs and the giant fucking beans. They don't even have arms, man. You may have looked into your menu by this point and noticed they're not even called just beans or bean person. No, they're called bored beans because they're not even excited to see you. They don't care at all if all you do is cut down their brethren. They'll just respawn anyway. Life is meaningless to the beans.
Get to massacre them.
Dead eyes evoke a primal level of rage.
Which, hold on. By the way, oh god, hold on. We have a zoom in on his face. How many of you knew that if you can click on the mob, it actually gives their death animation? That's crazy. That's like actually insane. I had no idea that was a thing until recently.
I want to eat a live one.
So what? Is this game just clicking on a map, waiting, clicking on the next map, waiting, so on and so forth until the eventual heat death of the universe? No. I wouldn't waste my time, or your time if that was the case. The mechanics of Idleon are mainly split into two economies, combat and skilling. We've already briefly touched on the combat, wherein a character placed on a map will battle the enemy creature until a certain amount of kills has been reached, at which time a magic portal opens and you're able to progress to the next map, thus perpetuating the cycle. Your character will kill, whether you're at the computer or not, and whether or not you're at the computer determines your progress rate. The two options both have their benefits and drawbacks depending on what your current goal is and what class your character is. Later on, however, the kill count required to open portals grows so great, and your character's so powerful, that active play is actually a detriment, and it's more efficient to leave your character AFK. Combat itself has two binary modes. You can either have granular control over the player in every action, movement, and skill cast, or you can set it to auto to relinquish any and all influence over your character. There is no in-between.
Imagine playing Idleon that active.
Here is that auto will almost always be vastly more effective in time.
The good old days of Bubo fist weapons. You guys remember this? This is I think the golden age of Idleon. Yeah, this is a good time right here. Nostalgia.
Due to the computer being able to click and activate things faster than you are physically able to. The only time you really benefit from manual combat is when facing boss monsters early on, at which point it's useful to be able to manually dodge and target specific areas. You will, however, quickly grow powerful enough to be able to disregard that part completely and simply one-shot the...
Wait, do we not do fisticuffs anymore? No, we stopped doing fisticuffs with AC. If you're doing Cranium Cook progress, Marbleglass Staff is the best.
Bosses. So once again,
Again, Sporg124 here to rage bait me in my own Twitch chat again.
Actively participating in combat often gives greater yield than actively playing the video game. What about the other economy of the game? Maybe that'll be different. The other part is skilling, which many consider one of the biggest draws of Idleon. That is truly a baffling thing to me. Like, in more than one video and or stream, I've heard people in the Idleon sphere talk about how it does skilling right, and they find games without good skilling to be lackluster. I wonder if going outside is a skill any of these people have put time into. In this context, skilling refers to the systems, mechanics, and advancement of character talents such as cooking, wood chopping, bug catching.
I will say, skilling in this game is fun because I think it needs to be. I think it's a core game mechanic, right? I don't know. I feel like most games these days, they don't rely on skilling as a core game mechanic. They more or less have it as a vehicle to get to the core game mechanic, which is like fighting or something, like Muck, for example. I don't know why I'm using Muck as an example, but like you just like chop trees and shit and use that to fight mobs. It was basically it.
Ore mining, smithing, fishing, and more. Some people also call these digital chores. So how does this work, and why does its design inspire such lust in my fellow gamers? We'll start.
No, not that Muck. M-U-C-K.
Start with the first.
So it's Kakum.
Skill you encounter in the game: wood chopping. To entice you with a taste of what's to come, one of the first quests in the game is to chop it.
And to be fair, early skilling in Idleon it's fucking shit. It does the exact same thing as other games. Like it's chopping and mining and catching and fishing. Right? I feel like it's like the exact same. And then you get into like minier skills like weekly boss battles and Kilroy, and I feel like all these tiny mechanics like are what make Idleon good.
Down the tree. You don't chop down the tree, of course. You just click the tree and your guy waddles over and begins chopping. All the better if you have an axe equipped. If not, I guess your guy just shatters every bone in his hand, giving it a good karate whack, while the quest giver stands there staring, looking pleased with himself. The active components of skilling are the mini-games attached to most of the available skills. In chopping, you have to click the button when the marker is within a certain range. In mining, you have to dodge ore deposits. I mean, bug catching is just Flappy Bird. It's 2025.
Yep.
We can call out when things are just blatantly Flappy Bird. At least call it Floppy Bug or something. Come on,
Floppy
Lava.
Bug.
However, you cannot play these minigames endlessly, as you're given a set amount of minigame plays per day. This amount is not exclusive between skills either.
Notice the misspelling on his name, JT Streamus.
It's across all minigames. For example, if you're a new player and you start the game and for whatever reason get really into the chopping game, you can't then go play the mining minigame to try it out because you've used up all of your plays. The only solution here is to wait until the game's daily reset point. Additionally, you can also pay more real-life money in order to get more plays per day.
Worth it.
So how do you progress with these skills? What does advancement look like? What happens when you get to like level 120 in chopping? Yeah. You remember the part where I said you click the tree and your fella begins chopping? Yeah, it's that. You can leave your game open and manually collect all of your logs.
And a friend crash over catching minigame while trying to get Maestro. I will say I've also crashed over the catching minigame because I missed the achievement by 1.
But this is another instance of it being more efficient to leave the game AFK than to actively play it. Your character will gain skill experience after every successful chop that provides a log. After enough time has passed and you've accumulated the requisite experience points, that skill levels up and so does your proficiency in that skill, which adds into the calculation of how many logs you can get per chop. Once the result of that calculation grows high enough, you can then progress on to the next type of tree to chop down. Since it's a tougher tree, you get very few logs at first, so you level up the skill and upgrade your axe to boost your proficiency and overall stats. That way you can get more logs. And eventually, dude, you're just swimming in logs, fucking drowning in logs, trust me. And your skill is high enough that now you
drowning
can
indeed.
On to the next type of tree to chop down. But perhaps I'm focused.
Real quick, guys, our daily reset is in 4 minutes. We got to catch the leveled up Crux Stamp live because it's going to happen.
Focusing too much on chopping. Let's talk about mining.
Hey,
In mining, you click on an ore vein and your character waddles over and begins mining. All the better if they have a pickaxe equipped. If not, I guess your fella just rips the skull out of their own fucking head and begins bashing it into the rocks to chip off iron shavings or whatever. Your character will gain skill experience after every successful pickaxe swing that provides ore. After enough time has passed and you've accumulated the requisite experience points, that skill levels up and so does your skill proficiency, which adds into the calculation of how much ore you can get per swing. Once that's high enough, you can progress on to mining the next type of ore. But perhaps I'm focusing too much on chopping. Let's talk about bug catching. Your character will gain experience
God.
after every successful swing that catches a bug provides a fish. After enough time has passed and you've accumulated the requisite experience points, that skill levels up and so does your skill proficiency, which adds into the calculation of how many bugs you can get per swing. Once that's high enough, you can progress on to catching the next type of bug. Thankfully, not every
Genius.
skill
I like
follows this
that.
exact formula.
I feel like that was actually some good editing. Good job, man.
For example, the cooking skill is entirely passive. Once you unlock World 4, you get cooking experience by simply placing your fella in the kitchen and forgetting they exist.
That was smooth, yeah.
Laboratory.
Having the script kind of line up, I feel that was pretty good. I mean, how the fuck else can you explain the skills other than the exact same way that you did before, you know?
Another World 4 skill,
Genius.
is also passive. But this time, if you need to take that character out of lab to do literally anything else, it can actively penalize you for messing up account-wide bonuses and unlocks. The third World 4 skill, breeding. Well, Lava didn't gamify the conception part of pregnancy, so that means it must be the gestation period. Also
That's
passive.
crazy.
Ladies, comment below if you think your pregnancy was more active or AFK. The only one of these to really have an active component or minigame is breeding, which includes
That's
the pet battle
crazy.
system whose rewards feed into unlocking further progression in the cooking skill. This facet surprisingly doesn't factor into breeding level much. The only real benefit to leveling up breeding is to unlock a couple level gated upgrades. After that, it only really boosts the XP multiplier to make it level up faster for the sake of a higher XP multiplier. I haven't touched my eggs in months, man. I'll be honest with you.
Same.
I do have to give credit for the
know
later
Tim's in
skills that
chat.
actually do require a small amount of cognitive involvement.
You're going to catch some flack, JT. I know Tim's in chat right now. Tim, the breeding enthusiast.
In World 5, you unlock the sailing and gaming skills, both of which have perpetual minigames that aren't locked away behind an amount of daily plays. They're full, autonomous, proper systems that have game-wide effects and benefits. In World 6, you get farming, which requires you to manage plots of land and time crops and their growth. The sneaking skill has a minigame where your character passively infiltrates a cursed tower.
Oh, what the fuck is that inventory? Hold on, go back. Hold on.
The sneaking skill has a minigame where your character
Hold on. What the fuck is this, man? What the fuck is this? I thought we were over. I thought we were over the bad account shit. What is this, man? This is fucking awful. This is awful. What is this? This is straight diabolical bullshit right here. I like how his gold charms aren't even in boosted slots.
character passively infiltrates a cursed tower to sneak to the top and then reset and do it again? Is there a point or a plot to the sneaking skill? Seems almost like there would be. What's up with this guy? Anyone know? The crown jewel of World 6 is the summoning skill. Summoning's so damn good and popular
Crown jewel
that it's
indeed.
yet to be released, but recently delayed.
Hold on. I expect the mention of at least been delayed, what, 5 times? Wasn't it supposed to be Q1 2025 or was it Q2 2025? What was the initial release date for Idlemancer? Also, I have to know. Idlemancer. Okay, it's still Q1. No, it wasn't Q4. It wasn't Q4 because I remember it being pushed more than that. I don't think so. Hold on. Future content blog. I gotta find out. Idlemancer. Confirmation. It was supposed to come out Q2 of 2025. Is this snapshot the release date? So this has been delayed to Q3, Q4, now Q1. So this is 3 delays. So funny.
Spin-off game called Idlemancer. Until more recent updates, there is a set amount of stages in the summoning minigame, with no ability to replay those completed stages. You're still unable to replay those stages, but with the infinite summoning mechanic as well as the new summoning bosses, there's always going to be another milestone for you to reach for. The most recent addition at time of this video is Spelunking, the darling of World 7. In Spelunking, you wait passively for your character's energy bar to...
Oh shit, we missed the daily reset. I forgot to see what the stamp was. Hold on. It was not Crux stamp, unfortunately. Beats me. It leveled something up in the interval, so I have no idea what it is. Anyways.
Up. Then you enter a minigame wherein you click on tiles to harvest materials and try to find the hole that goes lower in that cave. Once you've done this...
No, wait, hold on. I think I hit refinery stamp. I'm now 186 refinery. Ooh.
That's enough. Your character powers material
Go back.
for your character's energy bar. Going to be another milestone for you to reach for. The most recent addition at time of this video is Spelunking, the darling of World 7. In Spelunking, you wait
the only child of World 7, mind you.
Passively for your character's energy bar to fill up. Then you enter a minigame wherein you click on tiles to harvest materials and try to find the hole that goes lower in that cave. Once you've done this enough, your character power will grow great enough that you can challenge the next cave. In the next cave, you click on tiles to harvest materials and find the hole to progress. So eventually you can move on to the next cavern where you click on tiles. Damn it, dude, these are just the earlier skills with extra steps! The whole loop of this game is just set your character to passively do something. They do it for...
Please don't tell me you clicked auto. Hey, Blue Star, thank you so much for the raid. Please don't tell me you clicked auto, just...
for a period of time.
It's rage bait number 5. Oh my god.
And that is determined by the amount of effort and time already invested into this task.
Oh my god, he clicked
You're then able to move
auto.
that character onto doing the same task at a different location for a different yet similar reward for a period of time that is determined by the amount of effort and time already invested into that skill. Repeat.
Yep.
This is just digital chores, man.
Yeah.
This is like trying to get a kid to eat their vegetables, but instead of tricking them by doing the airplane thing and covering with cheese, you've locked the broccoli behind a fucking Rube Goldberg. But here's the problem. I like broccoli. I enjoy being mentally stimulated because I am very smart. I like Rube Goldberg machines. If you only had 1 or 2 characters under your control in Idleon, it might actually be the worst designed game ever, or at least Zynga would have tried to buy it by now. But at the time of writing, you have 10 available.
Hold on.
At least Zynga would have tried to buy it by now. But
that was a Valen Slimes. Dude, the B-roll footage goes back 3 years.
at the time of writing, you have 10 available, with those last 2 of the dozen staying locked for the time being. A tease of possibility. Idleon works less like a traditional RPG or action game and more like an economy. That's even how I describe the 2 main parts of the game. As you progress, the hunger for resources only grows greater, and even after you're able to generate far past the maximum amount of resources, there are other economies such as the Atom Collider that work off of and grow based off how obscenely overmatched.
See you, Blue Star. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate it, man.
It has become.
But yeah, auto's terrible.
It's only
Don't do
writing
it.
this script that I start to understand the appeal of games like Factorio. Starting in World
Honestly, I don't even like Factorio. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's awful.
3, you gain access to the 3D printer. As a side note, my high school got a 3D printer the year after I graduated, and
Really?
I'm still salty about it. With
A 3D printer?
your character
My mom has like 4 of them, actually.
generates resources even when installed at those skilling or combat locations or nodes. With
Let's
an
print.
upgrade, your character can generate 2 different resources at once, reliably rewarded every hour. Across 10 characters, that means you're able to passively generate significant tangible quantities of 20 different resources at a time, plus 10 more from the current and active activities of the characters themselves.
Yo, hold on. You're not gonna get my mom.
If you have ADHD, your brain may have lit up just as mine did all those many moons ago.
Absolutely.
The allure of Idleon isn't in the skilling or the combat. It isn't in the minute-to-minute gameplay or, hell, the day-to-day gameplay. The allure of Idleon is in trying to understand and orchestrate layers upon layers of systems and mechanics that are all spaghetti
You guys remember the Timmy Time Waster? I remember the Timmy Time Waster. You all do.
knotted together in opaque ways, all for the ultimate satisfaction of number go up, the focused pursuit of success solely for the improvement of the metrics. Layers of economy at scale, all dependent on the sole input of your time. Truly, a majority of the game's content can be completed in a bit over a week's time. And that isn't an exaggeration. World 1 took me about that long when I first began Idleon, for example. It took me a month to get to World 3, which is embarrassing to say as a now seasoned player.
A month.
Fellow YouTuber and one of the main Idleon streamers and authorities, IdleMainZ, recently did a complete run
Hold on, authority?
from brand new account to the end of World 5 in only a week's time, all without a single microtransaction and without paying for the auto loot feature.
Yep.
World 6 and World
That's fun.
7 have added padding to prevent such types of accelerated progression, but I see that more of a request to savor the meal rather than rush the experience.
Yeah.
While Idlemain's progress does rely heavily on knowledge obtained through his tenure, it's an example of what's possible as the player, and enhances the mystery of the why and how so many people have spent months, years, dollars, and dreams simply grinding away in Idleon, waiting for more content that they're already overpowered for and will likely find no challenge in.
I mean, I can't speak to everyone as to why they play video games. Move to Vegas after hearing Mr. Brightside for the first time. It's an okay song, all right? Like, games, but I play it because it's fun. It helps me fill time while I'm working if there's downtime. And you know, Idleon fills that gap perfectly because I can just sit there, press auto, like manage my inventory for 3 seconds, go back to work. You know, it's not that time consuming. It doesn't interact with my daily activities at all. But to some people it does, you know, and that's good to them if they can manage it. It's not good to them if they can. And it can become an obsessive spiral I've seen in some people that I've talked to.
So through the pursuit of number go up, you may have noticed a little quirk. Mainly, why don't any of the numbers make any fucking sense?
True.
Oh, simple. It's because there's two types of math in Idleon. Huh? That's right. There's both additive and multiplicative calculations. Take, for example, drop rate, the main number that factors into calculating the type, quantity, and frequency of items that monsters will drop. If you've boosted this to a figure of 12...
Yeah, I feel like it's like 7 levels of complexity to Idleon. Additive and multiplicative are like the first 2.
12 times the base stat, you might expect a plus 100% bonus to bring that 12 up to a respectable 24. Nope. Most of the math in Idleon is additive, at least until you get incredibly deep into the endgame progression. So with a 100% boost, that 12 instead becomes a 13. Where is this explained, you ask? Some of these calculations are also algorithmic and...
Yeah, look at this shit, by the way. Look at this shit on the wiki. Like, what the fuck is this? I didn't know I had to get a PhD in pure math to understand fucking Idleon. What the fuck is this, man? What the fuck?
Set of linear, because why not? The player base already can't read. Surely algebra is appropriate here instead. For example, in sneaking, when discovered, your character gets knocked out, which apparently means they instantly lose consciousness. Their bodies just lay there undisturbed until they pop back perfectly fine however many moments later. Seriously though, what the fuck is the lore of the sneaking skill and the cursed power of...
I don't know, actually.
There is an upgrade for your fella that reduces the amount of time their ragdoll form remains on the ground like a toddler throwing a tantrum, and this skill works as a percentage reduction of the time spent on said floor. You would expect a 100% reduction to mean that once beat upon the head by the eyes of that thing, you would just instantly spring back to form. Nope. Supposedly the calculation for this sort of thing is simply 1 divided by 1 plus the reduction level. So you're always scaling ever slightly closer to a true 100% without being...
I think my current knockout time is 4 seconds on sneaking.
...being able to touch it. This opacity of many mechanisms leads to one of the reasons I was so drawn to
The exponent in there has brackets.
Idleon, which is also the main reason I think it's reached such a level of success. The community.
You know, number 1, Idleon's a great... What is a slander, man? Official spokesperson for leave-in conditioner. I don't even have leave-in conditioner. Hold on.
Of many mechanisms leads to one of the reasons I was so drawn to Idleon, which is also the main reason I think it's reached such a level of success. The community.
You know, number 1, Idleon's a great game in the sense that, you know, there's a lot of content to do. There's a lot of things to do. So it satiates my personal appetite for video games. And secondly, the community that I built is also one of the reasons why I stay here, because there's a lot of great people that I speak with in the Discord. Not to delve into parasocial relationships or anything, I don't know anything about these people. They just are cool people to talk with, right? And so we'll just be talking about the game, or like, I think we're on day 36 of our Wordle streak. So day 53 now. Okay, hold on, let's double check. Day 54. Oh, almost 2 months. 2 months of Wordle. That's been fun. There's also a meme section. People upload their cat pictures and stuff. It's great.
Because so many things interconnect, it's hard to get a decent understanding of the game without some
He's talking about me. Honestly, with Tony's Discord Wrapped, honestly, is that's 100%.
Information source to help you along. The game's wiki is well regarded and well kept, listing almost every facet of every asset in the game, and there are multiple websites and utilities designed for the sole purpose of helping you navigate the avalanches of tasks and information that are dumped upon you. It almost seems impossible to get into late game content without having used these resources to aid.
I will say 429 Refinery, I'm pretty proud of you, man. I remember it being worse than this, obviously 8 months ago. I remember this being absolute shit. Good job. Good job.
You and act as a sort of external dashboard of everything that's going on. To the creators of Idleon Toolbox and Idleon Efficiency, you are to the Idleon community what Ryan's tea brewing duties were to a family of Mafia war players. Due to the nature of Idleon, this means that the content made around the game isn't like that of most games. There aren't compilations of sweet gameplay moments, no tidily edited headshot compilations or displays of technical prowess. Instead, almost all of the content around Idleon is educational.
Pretty much, yeah. I will say, I think Arlong is like the only one who makes like show off type videos. I mean, he did what is like 113 speedrun or something, 103, yeah, something like that.
It's just people teaching each other how to play and understand the game.
The fact that Nocturne has this playlist and it's 71 videos long, I think speaks to the absolute fucking depth of Idleon.
Likewise, the main streamers of the game aren't these high-octane personalities that you'd expect if you've watched high-profile streamers of other genres and games. Streams frequently reach into the 7 to 8 hour mark or longer, which isn't as wild as it used to be, but I do need to remind you that the main activity of this game is waiting. While of course every streamer has their own style, most streams of the game start off with doing the daily Idleon tasks, but after an hour or so will fade into just general chatting and question answering or advice giving. Genuinely though, as Lava, I'm not sure how I would feel if I made a widely successful game and found out that the reason the community is so passionate is brotherly is because no one can figure out what the fuck is going on.
So fucking true. So true.
Perhaps my favorite example of this is, in the arcade shop there's a character upgrade you can purchase, and each upgrade tier provides you with a higher percentage of burger. What do I mean by that? I speak not in code or riddles, dear viewer. The upgrade is literally % burger. So what?
It's a nothing burger. There's an April Fool's joke.
What does the burger upgrade do? Is there a secret burger stat in the game hidden from the menus? Can anyone tell me? Oh, it does nothing. Burger does nothing, but you can still spend your hard-earned limited supply of pachinko balls on it.
And super
and you only have to visit an external resource in order to figure out that it in fact does nothing. But for days after it appeared, most streamers and community members insisted it had to do something. To this present day, and certainly into future days, stream chats and Discord logs will be filled with people asking what burger does.
Absolutely.
I can talk about game mechanics that waste your time and stories of my friend's father from childhood, but that's not what this video is about. I told you at the start. This video is about how I wasted my 20s and how I went insane. One of my favorite musical artists is a man named Evan Weiss, frontman of the bands Into It, Over It, Pet Symmetry, There, and many, many more, on top of running the Storm Chasers record label. He's a busy guy, and his work has accompanied me in the most intimate manner throughout the various stages of my life since shortly into high school. It's not an exaggeration to say that his voice has literally been the soundtrack to my life for most of my life. Evan's a firm believer in the craft of album packaging and liner notes, and I share the faith. There's a sacred feeling when listening to a piece you love.
Oh, by the way, as part of a wedding gift, someone gave us a record player, and I don't have any records. So if anyone has any good idea of records I should go out and get, let me know. Because I need to start collecting. I need to start building a collection. That's what you do when you get a vinyl or like a record player, right?
Turning over the packaging in your hands, holding the album art between your fingers and reading the lyrics and notes despite already knowing every word. It is another dimension of intention
JD.
that so many never choose to interact with. In these notes and postscripts of Evans, a line that's persisted for years is stay hungry. He's not advocating for anorexia.
Dude, artists are so cool. Like, look at that. You know, that's art. That's art right there. Anyways, what'd you say?
Of Evans, a line that's persisted for years is stay hungry. He's not advocating for anorexia, as I would often joke to myself, but to maintain that yearning and desire for growth and expression. This, ultimately, is where I slipped and failed myself. From nearly the moment I graduated high school, I worked and grinded away most of my days. Of course, everyone has to work and support themselves. I'm not naive or making an absurd claim that I'm special because I put in 40 hours a week. Because I was hip and with it, I stopped in one day and recognized Kanye West's album 808s and Heartbreak in vinyl format, sitting on a shelf looking pretty, marked down to about $25. I should clarify, clearly, this is back when Kanye was cool. Before he was a Nazi. I do not support Nazis. I didn't have a record
Can't wait for this video to get demonetized just because you said that.
player, but I kept glancing at it. I didn't even know modern hip-hop was pressed to vinyl, to tell you how deep in the culture I was at the time. So I looked up the release and saw that it was selling on the secondhand market for a couple $100. To a college boy making 10 cents above minimum wage, that was an alluring prospect. And so my obsession with resale, or flipping, began. For almost a decade after that point, my days would consist of going to work, then immediately heading to check out local stores and thrift shops for inventory, ending the day by returning home to list items, answer emails, and pack orders until it was time to sleep. The only exceptions to this were Saturdays, when I'd usually try to hang out with some friends for a handful of hours, then return home and resume working. Or Sundays, where I'd usually try to take a half day, but would often just end up working instead.
I love
To
this.
this day, at about the 3-hour mark
I love this
of any
background
social
footage.
interaction, I feel a strong pull to leave because, well, something needs done, and it surely isn't getting done by lollygagging around.
That's called the grind mentality, the grind set.
Much like Idleon, over time my skills grew and I leveled up as a shopkeeper. I had 100% positive feedback on Discogs. I was a star seller on eBay. The shirts I designed and sold on Etsy and Amazon were popular enough that they were bootlegs from copycat sellers.
Nice.
But yet all of these metrics and milestones were meaningless and hollow. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? The pandemic happened and commerce slammed to a halt. People stopped ordering things and the stores where I would source my inventory were all closed. Thankfully, due to declining almost every invitation to everything ever for the sake of my work, I had never spent a whole lot of my profits. Throughout all the years, I'd only gone on one vacation, with my best friend at the time. I spent the majority of that trip just laying on the bed in the hotel room, finally able to semi-relax from being so far from my base of operations that I was physically unable to do any work. I figured I'd try investing. This was around the time of the GameStop frenzy, and everything was going well until the Russian invasion of Ukraine began, and thus the world markets took a violent retch in which myself and many others lost almost everything as a result of panicked decision-making. In the end, most of my work had been for nothing. Every concert I didn't go to, every road trip I stayed home from, every late night I declined because I had orders waiting at home, every date I turned down because every inch of my bedroom was covered in either inventory or packing.
As if you could get a date, let's be real.
Supplies.
That was aggressive, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Plus, who even has the time to invest in and maintain a relationship anyway? All of it was wasted, with nothing to show. Well, I can package things like nobody's business. At least I have that. One day I woke up and I was 29, with barely a notion of how I got there or what I was doing. It felt like I'd been sleepwalking through a life that wasn't mine. Through my life, I've always been an avid gamer. My PlayStation controller had always been kept within reach for those rare moments that I didn't have an order to pack or an email to answer. With nothing else to fill the time, I remember this period of spiritual stillness as when gaming was just what I did. I started streaming and even became deeply entwined in the communities of a few other semi-local streamers. Due to overzealous confidence, my branding remains a scar from this period, a constant reminder that mistakes make the man. I didn't reach any degree of success from streaming, and the other creators I'd befriended both decided to step away from their streams and communities without warning, ghosting everyone in the process. With their leaders gone, their communities faded and died off almost instantly. Once again, I felt like I'd put a lot of myself into something just to have it disappear. While this time it had all been factors outside of my control, it still felt like a personal failure. I still blamed myself for these.
I understand this is like an introspective part of the video, so I don't want to interject too much, but I feel like this is also just part of the journey. You do stuff, it fails, and you just gotta learn, the mistakes and move on from it. I think for a while, I think I fell into the same mentality where I would, use gaming as kind of an escape from real stuff, and it kind of ruined me socially. It wasn't, to be completely blunt and honest, I was a addicted gamer. I think obviously still am, but back in the day, I did not go to elementary and middle school. Legitimately, I think I went for 60 days out of the entire school year. I mean, I passed. I wasn't held back. That was fine, but definitely not the right move socially growing up, because moving into high school, I knew absolutely no one, but somehow still managed to escape just fine with social, with enough social network. And then going into college, I kind of fell back into the same mentality where I just wanted to slide through it. And I kind of deeply regret that, because I don't think I remember or keep close with many people from any time in my life, to be honest. Yeah. But if anything, it's kind of a lesson where, gaming's not everything. Gaming's not my entire life. It's there. It's something fun, and it shouldn't be an obsession, And then here I am making a fucking YouTube channel,
Unknown deeds that had undone everything. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
I think we've entered a very... Okay, come on, buddy. All right. Fucking calm down with this. Loves video games and feet. All right, come on. Modern era of civilization where, the more concrete human goals don't matter as much as personal satisfaction. So I understand why people spend thousands of hours in video games, because it's more fun than going out in life and being depressed all the time with world events.
Then one day, I found Idleon. To me, Idleon became something to occupy my mind and keep it away from lingering on malignant...
I gotta say, I sound so smart. I don't know anything what the fuck I just said. I just remember taking a fucking political science class on postmodernism, and I just threw that word out there and it made sense.
Thoughts. I became an optimization machine, because every bit of progress is another step away from perceived failure, if only for a moment. Because there are so many mechanics that are always active and overlapping, there's always something to consider, something to think of, something to look forward to, something to plan. Because of the required investment of intellectual effort, it felt that by gaining an understanding of the game and its many systems, I had achieved some tangible victory I could attach my pride to. If people can brag about a PhD, I can surely get some credit for the methodical, obsessive study and taming of a video game, right? I would check the game's tome mechanic, which gives you a rough ranking, and I would see that I was in the top 25% of players and think, wow, I'm already doing better than 3/4 of people. If I put in a little bit more effort, then being in the top 10, 5, even 1% should be easy. What began as a personal challenge to myself became a spiral, a swirling vortex of water sliding down the drain and taking my days with it. I started watching heaps of Idleon content. I'd closely follow the schedule of the premier streamers like GriffyBit and Idlemane, because more often than not, you'll learn something new.
Premier streamer? I stream once per maybe. Okay, if that makes me a premier streamer, I don't know what the fuck I did to be here.
New every time. Some new tip or trick or interaction between mechanics that would get the gears in your head only turning faster. I'd trawl the Idleon wiki for any gleam of another advantage I could use. I'd notice that LavaFlame, the developer, would be going live on Twitch, and I'd clear my schedule to make sure I was around. Surely I'd learn something, and he typically gives out freebies during streams. It would be the apex of stupidity not to closely pay attention to every moment. I would wake up in the night and stumble a beeline toward my computer in order to empty my inventory and do a few tasks to ensure my character could continue grinding the remaining nighttime hours unimpeded. Sometime I'd find an hour had passed before I made it back to bed. More than once, the sunrise ambushed me, like a parent catching their child coming home from sneaking out. While these things are mostly harmless in isolation, the problem was that these things became the entirety of what I was doing. Where I once had an online business to pour my time and attention into and isolate myself with, now I had a computer game and the community surrounding it. I don't have to ask. By now you know the definition of insanity. You may be curious, even with all the mechanics and systems, the active interactions of the game are still limited. How on earth were you able to sink so many days into that deep, deep hole? Your characters can claim AFK progress every 2 minutes. And with 10 characters, that means you could technically switch between a character every 12 seconds to reach the pinnacle of optimization. Even I never went so far as to go mad with pursuing that level of efficiency, but from the outskirts of the community I've seen many names walk wordlessly into that sea. It's easy to pass a day when there's always something to do. The game is dense enough that there's always a task somewhere that needs done, no matter the actual level of importance. There's the daily task list of your guild, the daily challenges, the actual quests that are supposed to compose the campaign of the game, plus a dozen and a half other facets that can always benefit from a bit
Oh, my heart sank there for a second.
of active attention. He's been mentioned throughout the video, but any discussion of Idleon will ultimately ring a bit hollow, without mention of the game's sole developer and creator, LavaFlame 2. We can't talk about LavaFlame 1 or bad things will happen. So let's talk about LavaFlame 2. The developer of Idleon has been mostly secretive about himself and his identity, but occasionally on his streams he talks about his own life and struggles. And of course, his new PB on the bench press. For something as wide and deep as Idleon, as detailed and creative as the worlds and creatures are, it's still difficult for me to conceive that it's all made by one person. Of course, there are some assets in early worlds that were pulled from marketplaces, but I hardly consider that an offense. Pre-made assets are tools, and when you're working on something of this scope, it's foolish not to consider every tool at your disposal. Lava's streams aren't archived, at least anywhere I could find. I've attended and dutifully paid attention to about 15 of the streams throughout my time as an Idleon player, and my general impression of Lava is that he's a chill dude with an immense amount of both ambition and stress. During one of the streams following an update, he mentioned how he'd barely slept the last few nights due to working on the game, and how he was on only a few hours of sleep at the time due to rushing to meet the deadline he'd set. You could tell by his voice, the dude was fucking exhausted. Yet, he still apologized to the community for not releasing things sooner. I don't recall if it was this stream or another, but after some pointed probing from chat about why things were taking so long, he simply admitted that the game had already overwhelmingly consumed his life, and he had no more free time to give. In his words, he wakes up, goes to the gym, works on Idleon, goes for a run, and goes to bed. He wakes up the next day, goes for a run, works on Idleon, goes to the gym, and goes to bed. Even in the case that his words were a bit of an exaggeration, it paints the portrait of a guy in his mid to late 20s or early 30s who started a game and maybe wasn't fully prepared for the scope and breadth it would grow to. Sometimes, pictures can be mirrors. Luckily, since that stream, he's seemed to take a more considerate approach to his work-life balance, at least to the extent that he no longer audibly sounds as exhausted as he did back then.
Yeah.
But still, in a non-parasocial way, LavaFlame absolutely fascinates me. He feels like the inverse, the mirror opposite of what I had become due to my obsession. While I was consumed with taking in the game and grinding and exploring the possibilities of all the mechanics, he was consumed with producing the game and siphoning his passion out into a project we all readily lapped up and begged for more of. There is a lot of hate for Lava in the community and spread across the other parts of the web, and I think a significant part of this comes from the fact that, as noted, he does everything himself. Thus, there's a specific person to point the blame at when there's something you don't like, or a new feature comes out and it isn't what you'd built it up to be in your head. There is no PR manager, there is no community relations staff, there isn't even a customer support staff. If you have a problem, you email Lava. If you see a social media post about the game, it was made by Lava. If you see an update for the game come through but there aren't patch notes yet, it's because the update was put up by Lava, and Lava hasn't had the time to write out all the notes yet. It's all Lava, baby! Who at the same time is handling development of future content, bug fixes for current content, plus the whole side of in-game purchases and monetization, which surely require special handling. Of course, sometimes he missteps, but I feel anyone carrying that much can be forgiven for occasionally misjudging where their feet will fall. Of all the issues I've seen raised, none of them have ever come across as malicious. Instead, all of the instances seem to be things that were approached and designed from a specific point of view, and then due to complexity of other systems or outside variables, didn't go as smoothly as planned. One could trace this issue back to Lava, saying he should have more beta testers and they should be given more time. After all, he is the one who sets the deadlines and the date for releases. There is no boss or parent company he is beholden to. I agree with this sentiment. One of the updates in recent memory, the World 5 whole release, the beta testers only had a handful of hours to try things out before the update went live. As the game depends on you to wait real-time hours for progression to happen, you can imagine that even with insider knowledge, the testers weren't able to get very far. They weren't given practical quantities of the new consumables, the lanterns, that allow you to skip time in the content, and reportedly were not given any of the in-game gems currency that would be used to purchase said lanterns. Due to this severe limitation placed on the beta testers, they could only assess the immediately available content. So when the update went live a couple hours later, those with deep real-life money pockets or who had stocked in-game currency were able to buy out the supply of lanterns and break the system in ways not anticipated or tested for. In the past, testers have leaked huge amounts of information about in-development content, and after that point, Lava seemed to withdraw in regards to letting others try out content before it launched. So what was the result of this lantern fiasco? Lava enacted a blanket rollback for those who had progressed past a certain amount that he deemed reachable. Their progress for several mechanics was set back to the levels that they were at before the update released. For most, this would seem fair, except that due to it being a blanket implementation, many players who hadn't knowingly exploited the game, or who hadn't exploited it at all, but had instead made significant progress due to grinding, those people also had their progress reversed. A specific example from Idleon is of a player who had 100,000 hours invested at the Bravery Monument pre-update. Then, due to such a level of progress, the update rolled it back to 24,000 hours. As a lot of players had paid real-world money for the progress on the lanterns, having this reversed with no compensation was the final straw, and the game suffered a significant brain drain of high-level players who had simply had enough. For those who stuck with the game, the stat increases they were able to keep was still higher than what was practically reachable for most players, an example of the widening gap of power between players who played the game for free and those who were able to purchase additional in-game items. The general concept and existence of this gap in player power is really the source of almost all drama and controversy surrounding Idleon.
Yeah.
The red-hot catalyst that most agree ignited the issue was the introduction of the companion system. Once a week, you get a free roll for a pet companion, each species of which gives a different bonus, though these bonuses do not stack if you own multiple of the same pet. These bonuses range from the mundane, like small stat boosts, to utterly game-changing, like the dedicated RAM. The RAM allows you to use the storage chest from anywhere, instead of forcing you to return to town every time your inventory fills up. The Sheepy makes all of your big bubbles and alchemy active all the time for all characters, instead of a limit of 2, later 3, per character. The premier gem of the companions, however, is the venerable King Dute. In the World 5 skill Divinity, which is kinda like World 4's Lab, but very different from World 3's Worship, bear with me here. No, not that bear. In Divinity, assigning your character to a worship altar will confer certain bonuses either to that specific character or to your party as a whole. While since then there have been additions to the game that allow much more flexibility with your Divinity assignment, for most of the skill's history, the most Divinity...
By the way, if you're a free-to-play player, this should be your exact hold links right now. Arctis and Cattlecrack, absolutely.
Divinity blessings you could have per character was 2. Some would even require you to leave your character there AFK all the time, like Lab. With Dute, all 10 altars are active on all 10 characters, all the time. Side note, isn't it wild that I have to explain system upon system just to give a base understanding of what the hell I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The effects of having all 10 active at all time is indescribable without sounding like hyperbole. It's like living in the Stone Age and then suddenly living in modern times.
With a gun.
The progress you're able to make changes your playstyle considerably, and the gap between where you're suddenly at and where you just were might as well be oceans of time. You're saying, that doesn't sound too bad though. Getting Dute isn't that hard, right? You get a free spin every week, and there were only 11 companions until recently. That doesn't sound too bad. It was. The chances of rolling a King Dute pet range from 0.28% to 0.85%, depending on what number roll you were on and the cost you paid for that roll. A pity system was later put into place where you're guaranteed a Dute after 200 rolls, which, if you stick to the free rolls, that's only 4 years. One community member and content maker at the time, 100mar, made a calculator to figure out how much you would need to spend in real-world money to guarantee a Dute. To pay for the maximum of 200 spins would cost approximately $430 US, not including sales tax or other fees that may apply. That is with recycling the unsuccessful pets and using those gems to also pay for rolls. In fairness, Lava has said more recently that the way he did Dute was a big mistake, and he wishes he could have implemented things differently. He's considered changing it, but didn't think it would be fair to those who had spent the upwards of $400 to get the Bone Boy. Since then, we've had additions in the whole, and now in World 7, that allow you to get 99% of Dute's benefits without any sort of monetary
99%.
If you want to go all the way and be a
mathematically incorrect, but
real OG, you can even get a Dute for free if you find a generous player, since now you're able to trade away a single copy of any of your pets. There is even a new pet, the Pig, that grants the receiver free auto loot, removing another barrier of entry for players trying to get serious about the game. Though this individual point has been remedied, there's still a lot of contention in other parts of the player power gap issue. To incentivize the purchase of more in-game currency, you're presented with a revolving catalog of premium gem packs. which include premium gem in-game currency at a discounted price, as well as at least 1 or 2 very powerful items or account-wide bonuses. At first, these gem packs included things like time skip candies and equipment that provided a respectable 40% boost to AFK gains for a single character, but now give increasingly powerful bonuses like an account-wide 50% multiplicative damage boost, or a permanent 2.5 times multiplier for all coins dropped by all monsters. These bonuses...
Now we're getting an ad. I guess we'll pause here for them. There we go, go back. Let me know when the ad's over. Well, I guess you guys can't hear me, so I don't know. But yeah. It's going into the controversy, so lips sealed. I will not say anything here. Yeah, how funny. We get an ad when we talk about packs in the game. Amazing. Guys, I misplaced my clusters. Where do they go? There they are. I found them. Is that the controversy? No. Old controversy. Ugh. Ads over? We good on ads? Cool. Okay.
Powerful bonuses like an account-wide 50% multiplicative damage boost, or a permanent 2.5 times multiplier for all coins dropped by all monsters. These bonuses often come in the form of exclusive pet companions you can only get from these bundles. The gap between someone who's able to buy all the packs and utilize all the bonuses, and someone who can't, that gap grows every day. Many long-term players have left the game over this issue, quitting in protest, as it ruins the competitive angle of the game to have players that can simply pay their way to the top. There isn't a direct player versus player aspect to Idleon like you'd imagine in a multiplayer game, but there are cooperative efforts such as guilds and party dungeons where a degree of interaction can happen. And again, everyone wants to have a bigger number. Everyone wants to see that 1% on their tome score. Prior to the launch of World 7, Lava mentioned on his stream that players getting grossly overpowered wouldn't have that much of an effect on things long term. With the launch of World 7, we see that he implemented this as a sliding debuff on your character's skills and stats depending on how powerful you are, only effective while you're in World 7 trying to push and progress the new content. I'm not sure if that's the way to go about it either. While it may seem excessive for him to be putting out multiple limited time gem packs at a time, if you popped into any of his streams, you'd see that people are often begging for more gem pack options or for older ones to be put back into rotation. This truly is a case of giving the people what they want and it not making them happy. My perspective is that it came from people wanting to buy more gems, but feeling that buying them in isolation is just a bad deal, when eventually there's going to be a gem pack that's a better deal and comes with more stuff. Why not just wait until then? Rather, why wait at all? Just put out more gem packs, dude! To the people who don't want all those gem packs, it may seem excessive or predatory. I would be on the side that this isn't the case, except for one aspect. A large percentage of the bonuses available for purchase are advertised for a limited time only, and they pop up frequently. Limited time events and availabilities are not new to online gaming, and I could ramble for a long time about my thoughts on gacha and the whole psychology of exploitation behind it, but just because it's commonplace doesn't mean I have to like it. One may say that these additional purchases are optional and the core experience of the game doesn't include them, but there's a mechanic that I think insists to the contrary. The slab. The slab is basically a big-ass checklist. Do you have this item or have you touched it before? And Idleon has about 2,000 opportunities to check yes. Like a blessing from a hoarding deity, your character will get a bonus from each and every check on that list. Individually, it may not seem like much, but their strength comes in numbers. And as you may have guessed, all these checks also contribute to your tome score.
Holy shit.
And as time goes on, so many
So many
of these
slab
entries
items
on the checklist are only completable by spending money, or, even worse, having spent money at a specific point in time. The game considers obtaining these items part of the regular, standard Idleon experience. The fissure at the feet of free players widens to a canyon. While we're still relatively early in World 7, the bonuses we're starting to be able to unlock come close to rivaling those presented in some of the paid packs. And tied with the sliding debuff,
Three dead bones. Oh my god, brother.
My perspective is I think this may be Lava's more earnest attempt to bring balance to this issue. I just think it's going to take time to really even out. Throughout the making of this video and the writing and recording of the script, I talked to many people. An element I didn't expect to be present in almost all of these conversations was fear. While on the surface, the issue of LavaFlame may seem innocuous, there's a lot that I don't think many people realize is happening. Many community members and several of the prominent content creators of the game refuse to speak to me on record. Many refuse to take part in the video at all because, in the summarized words of many, if we say something bad, Lava's going to come after us. When people have been critical of the game, they have been banned from the game's Discord, which
What a crazy concept.
is the primary and foremost source of information regarding the game. Exclusive information as content is posted in the Discord, and without access, it's very likely you will miss out on content. When people make videos criticizing the controversy of the month, Lava makes thinly veiled threats about how he won't, but you know, he could copyright strike the video and have it taken down. He won't this time, but he could always change his mind. When a different creator put out his own speculation on why a main community member and wiki contributor was banned from the public Discord without public reason or explanation, Lava threatened to sue him for libel. It doesn't matter that the creator's speculation was incorrect. A line has been crossed. If you are a long-standing community member and content creator for the game, if you have spent countless hours helping others and filling the roles that Lava himself has failed to fill, if you speak out against Daddy Lava, you'll be threatened with legal action for threatening to destroy his livelihood. Brother, you're destroying your own livelihood by threatening to sue the very people you owe part of your success to. These people altogether have put thousands of hours into promotion for the game, thousands of hours of content for the game, all for free. And your response to any criticism is to fucking sue them? How fucking short-sighted can you be? And listen, I get being defensive about your work. That's normal. But there is a massive gap between being protective and being petty, especially when you live in a state like Lava's that has very stringent anti-slap laws. I know you're likely watching this, Lava, so please understand my words come from a place of compassion when I tell you, you need to chill the fuck out and quit the bullshit. Focus less on the bench press, do some kettlebells, and open up your chakras. Whatever the hell they say. You are a public figure now, whether you like it or not. Idleon frequently pops into the top 100 games on Steam, and your live streams frequently pull more attendees than the populations of most of the towns I've lived in. You have to accept the criticism that's going to come with that, especially as a solo developer in the modern age of gaming. I also understand that by mentioning these things, it increases the chances that Lava is going to take action and try to strike this video from the internet. All the parts of this video fall under fair use laws, but part of the reason this video took so long is because I've been making a DMCA-proof version of the video with no visual or audio elements from Idleon. If this one gets struck down, I'll just put that one up. It's the same, except all the media has been replaced with a note telling you Lava made me do it. I'll also spend a bunch of money on ads to make sure people see that version. I have attempted to contact LavaFlame many times over the year or so that I've been considering in making this video. I never once have received a reply. The sad part is, Lava hasn't always been this way. We can look at his Congregate account, which still hosts a wide
Big fucking W, by the way.
selection of games he made before Idleon. He made the account of May of 2010. He uploaded his first game, Super Dodge, in October of 2012. You can still go there and play the majority of these games, although some are seemingly now lost media. The point is, following all information and impressions, Lava started making games when he was like 12, and you can follow his progression in game making and, by extension, part of his life through these entries. For the first 2 years, he mostly made silly games that many would consider experiments rather than games. His first idle game, Super Benching Simulator, came out in 2014.
This is an asset used in idle skilling.
Though he didn't seem to truly get serious about game making until Super Idle Master in 2015, with Idle Lifting coming out a few months later in July. It's from there you can see him start to formulate and build upon what would eventually become Idle Skilling, his breakout hit that further evolved into the very Idleon we speak of now. Over time, you see his vision start to take form, and watch his skills evolve from ambitious to genuinely impressive. I had such a smile seeing the medals from Idle Awards pop up as a new tier of crop in the farming skill. If you've seen him do any design work on stream, or from the few clips he's posted in the Discord, you can tell he's become a master of the pixel art medium. In my video on Dandadan, I talked about how mesmerizing it was to watch series creator and artist Yukinobu Tatsu work. I find the same is true with Lava. There's fluidity in his movements that only comes with years of experience, and nimble dexterity, assuming he's doing all of this with a mouse. I really don't know. Remember, almost every asset is designed by Lava, even the music. And now I can confidently say that the art of Idleon is some of my favorite of any game, ever. Have you ever taken the time to actually look at the background art of the stages, especially in the later worlds? Have you ever considered the timeless design of the board beam? After almost 9,000 real-life meat space reality hours, I present Idleon with a rating of 8 out of 10 board beans. Whether more or less board beans mean a better score, I choose to remain ambiguous. If you're interested in Idleon, you can play for free on Steam, mobile, or legendsofidleon.com.
Which, by the way, I don't know if Legends of Idleon is the actual official name anymore. I think it's just Idleon on the Steam store. The website's Legends of Idleon. Used to be Legends of Idleon on Steam. Now it's no longer that. Oh, hey, it's me. Hold on.
Will be confused, so I suggest you check out my friend IdleMainZ for guidance.
Hey, thank you.
I get dicked down by God. I'm a godless man.
Despite design choices I may disagree with or think are particularly short-sighted, I can't find it in myself to hop aboard the lava hate train. Perhaps there is extra sympathy I afford his perspective because of my projection that he's a potential version of myself, one where I didn't fall in battle to complacency's blade. We're all branches of the same man, after all. For a long time I attributed the responsibility of my failure to a video game as a way to avoid confronting my own shortcomings.
I think it's probably the most tame, like, clip you will ever find of me reacting to any Justice run.
Even at the time, there was the nagging feeling that my days were slipping away. I should probably do something more with the finite amount of time in the sun my life could potentially hold.
Okay.
Looking back, it's just a weight of churning resentment at myself, at the time I spent stagnant. Do you know what it means to find a new definition of insanity? My parents are getting old. My nephews are growing up. My own youth is nothing but the trickling grains of sand in a weathered and weary hourglass. If I stay still too long, I'll miss it all.
Hey.
It's shameful, the amount of life that I've lost to stillness. I told myself that it was the good life, lazing about all day with a false sense of accomplishment, but there is no life there. It began as a crutch to help me deal with, and then later avoid, issues I felt that I could put off indefinitely. Tomorrow's problems are always tomorrow's problems. Most people live their whole lives looking for an excuse. For a moment, I found mine between lines of code and imagination. As for now, I'm still figuring it out. Between lines of code and imagination. As for now, for a moment, I found mine between lines of code and imagination.
Oh, hold on. How can I go?
As for now, excuse.
Thank you.
Always tomorrow's problems. Most people live their whole lives looking for an excuse. For a moment, I found mine between lines of code and imagination. Now, I'm still figuring it out. Hunting my own ghost for sports and hope that the spoils will one day truly cure, instead of just being a balm that soothes, but never heals. In the end, I think of Brent, sitting in that room, surrounded by his paper empire. I see lava. I see myself. I find pieces of myself in every person I meet, and when we shake hands, our shadows often overlap. Thank you for watching. Stay hungry.
Pretty solid video. There you go, guys. That's it's JT. Great, very long video. If you haven't already, make sure to go watch the video. It's linked there. Many other videos, and obviously I've already subscribed. Turn on notifications for other videos because he uploads once every 36 months. So yeah, good video. Good call at the end. And yeah, cool. You're on the list. Very fun video. Good, and I think you know, for the most part, pretty factually accurate. That's my opinion. course, JT. I'll keep the video pinned in chat. It was a great video. Great editing, good story pacing. I mean, for a 58-minute video, I think there was enough, personal interjection. There was a lot of good Idleon content there. Yeah. Oh, pretty good. Good job, man. How much bravery sword damage do you need to consistently get bravery bonus multi? You need to get to around 47 to at least see it. So however much damage that is. 100 to 150k? I mean, you could get there pre 100k even before World 7. So anyways, guys, we have some account reviews to crash out over. I mean, review, obviously. See if this guy's uploaded or not. Nope. How about this guy? I see Chaos hasn't uploaded today. It's his birthday, by the way. Make sure to say birthday. Ugh. Think there's an update today? I don't know. Anyone check the Steam DB? Any releases? Steam DB, Idleon. I don't see anything. I've been playing for like 2 to 3 weeks. Did you want to review my account? Are you on my list? If not, no.
Meow.
Oh, wow. Hey, Yell! I haven't seen you around in a while. How you doing, man? Thank you for the T1 sub. How's one get on the list? When I do giveaways again, which at this rate is probably going to be a few weeks. Cool. We have Guido and Chaos, I think. Let's go back and make sure I'm not missing anyone on the review list here. Okay. Yeah. Is your list a good thing or a bad thing? My list is public and it's for people that have won giveaways. Let you make the determination if it's good or not. All right. Cool. Well, I suppose let's go ahead and wait 3 minutes. Should get some statue effect. Should get more grand discovery chance. Nepotism, yeah. Hour got on the list due to nepotism. Oh, there's so many hats. Doesn't matter what floor I'm on. Want to get some sneaking symbols. Want to get my cogs. Chad, am I going to get an actual good cog? No. Okay, 53%. This one? GG. Your rainbow sheepy's almost ready? Are you making a rainbow sheepy from the beginning of the stream? Hell yeah, dude. It's a good song, yeah. because mains had worked at Blizzard. True. Did you see new top Justice round in Toolbox? You may have done an account review at some point and highlighted Justice. You missed the first. Did someone I told to do Justice is now like top Justice round on leaderboards or something? Give me leaderboards. Where do you even see Justice? Like in the caverns, okay. Bravery levels, Justice levels. Highest Justice round, Marley Longbot. This name does look familiar. 595? What is... $595 on Justice, but the bonuses are complete ass. No? $45,000. He has 29k class EXP gain. Yeah, it's got to be like a really low multi or something because it's only like he's got higher Justice bonus multi than me, but similar Monument AFK gain. I don't know, man. Oh, nice multi. 697. 697. Holy shit. 628. 622. Wine and drinking hay. What do I upgrade here? Should I try to go for that? Try to upgrade this guy's slots, to be honest. There we go. %. How far into AC are you? Endless reductions, endless cost reductions is where I'm at. How many levels of Plum database can I get? I got one purchase left. I think I wait. I think I wait another day. This character back on clams. Similarly drop rate. Let's do my AC. Those belts are good for EXP grinding. Sure. Wands, okay. I gotta go do my wand grinding. How does exotic market work? You get a bunch of crops, then you trade it in and get some levels of the bonus that you're going for. Dude, sleep token, big W, by the way. Oh, we got a 772. I think I can safely do a 1060 wand here. Oh yeah, here's a 117 extra tachyon wand, by the way, or a ring. Debating whether or not to upgrade this. There you go. Another 25% breakpoint. And then max out arcane charging. Check disc. Hey yo. Oh, this is sick. What? Hold on. I think this is technically like my first piece of like fan-made content. That's sick. That's nice. I like Sheepy. Sheepy's a good mob. Rainbow's just got all the colors, you know? It satisfies the ADHD. That's why you go for it. Very good. Thank you, player. Appreciate it. If you make it transparent, you can add as a 7TV emote. Oh, perfect. Well, player, if you want to do that. Actually, hold on. It is transparent. Hold on. Let me... Can I forward this to you, Hour? Yeah. Guys, should I do Ripple in space time? I should. Okay, truthfully, I probably shouldn't spend any more atoms into this. My bubble progression is stagnant. It's absolutely nothing. Also, I got to do my lore chapters for the day. Rainbow sheep? Sure. Oh, yeah, I gotta check. Hold on. 12 billion. So I went from 12 to 13. Perfect. Made gold mine a gold riptide? Easy. Hell yeah. Am I out of symbols already? Oh, I gotta get more gold bars. Not level Spelunk in EXP week? I did a little bit. Not a lot. I think I got some characters like 250 plus. Best use of golden stopwatch is masterclass resource cost reduction. The first wand I look at, that is nasty, but it's only 5 speed. $574, 102. Unfortunately, I do have a 772, 103. 105. I mean, what wounds you've got. Is Prisma Crux still worth its eventual bubble nerfs? Yes, I'd say so. We got a ring upgrade, 115 tack. Okay, okay. Stick 69. Damage worth over speed. I don't agree. Stick 66. Amazing. 69. No reason to go past 200 in Pet Arena. Is there optimal level for transfusion? Not that I know of. What's your tack gain? It's like 53,000 or 530,000 X. Is there a cap for Tempest move speed? Yeah, it's the regular cap for move speed in the game, which is like visually it's like 175 or something. People not buy Bojo pickles every day? I do. Especially now the damage is kind of giga juiced. I do. On top of mini bosses. All right. I think what we'll do is I'll let my AC grind out some wands in the background, and then I'll go ahead and jump over to our first account review, which is Gidog. They're going to get update today. They're going to slow down. Probably not update. I don't know about update today. Probably maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Any tips for getting past rice cakes on AC? Yeah, the top left platform, like the one with the rope. And then you just need a bunch of damage, crit chance, crit damage. Your account's updated as of today. It's the best way to speed up farming plant speed. The speed upgrade from Night Market. Hold on, sorry, I need to check something real quick. One sec. Um, cool. Okay. How do you get a review? I've currently paused reviews, like review giveaways, until I catch back up on the list because I was gone for like 2 months. LOL hour. It's funny. Let's refresh, see if your account updated Gidog. Let me get my notepad out. Okay, timestamps 12/6/25. Let's see. First account review we are doing at 1 hour, 44 minutes, 30 seconds. Gidog 1. All right. You guys ready for the first account review? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, it's Main here, back again with another account review. I don't know if I want the camera. I'll keep the camera for this part. Anyways, let's go jump into it. Today we have Gidog's account. This one we're doing on stream today. Gidog's actually in chat today, so kind of a live review. I guess if you have anything to add in, anything you want me to focus on, let me know. And then, you know, I'll take a look at it. You mentioned hole specifically, so obviously we're going to take a look at the hole, see what to recommend. And first things first, obviously, is obviously statues. That's probably something I want to talk about. I see there's a lot of statues here relatively low. So since Zenith statues came out, I don't think you've done statue grinding. So I recommend probably doing that. Going over to the various worlds. World 1 at Bored Beans, World 2 at Sandy Pots, World 3 at Dead Potato Rams, World 4 at Clammies, World 5 at Tremorworms, World 6 at Mini Chief Spirits, World 7 over at Coral Cave Guardians. I think those are all the best DK Crystal Farm statue spots. So go stick your characters there, grind up some statues, go deposit them, especially after you have the post Zenith update. Those give you deposit multi, so you can get your statues up to like around 400 is what you want to aim for, with the exception of like Kachow statue, Spelunking, and Coral statue. Obviously, a long-term goal grind here is try to get Coral statue and Onyx, because obviously they'll give you more deposit bonus, but also gives you more daily Coral per day. So you can max out those Coral upgrades. So very good thing to do. Kind of depends how much drop rate you have, obviously. So Coral statue might take a long time to get to Onyx. That's completely fine. Also depends if you bought the pack that gives you double statue drops, which multiplies with the double statue drops is already available in the game, which multiplies with the legend talent upgrade for a total of up to 12 statues you drop. Also Spelunking, the Spelunking shop gives you like additional statues. So like between like 2 to 12 statues per statue drop is what you should expect, to be honest. For every time you drop a Coral statue, generally speaking, you do want to AFK these as opposed to farming them actively. It just takes a very long time. Even with 600 drop rate, it'll take a very long time to get the statue to Onyx. But you need to, at some point kind of increase your drop rate through sources like the hole. There's a measure upgrade that'll give you a little bit of drop rate. There's pushing Sanctum. Getting more Sanctums give you 20% flat drop rate, which obviously gets multiplied by the various multipliers in the game, such as name tags or pet companions if you have them. Killing more golems themselves also scales the measure bonus for drop rate. You can push Gloomy Caverns as well for a little bit more drop rate. If you want to grind that, I guess we can take a look at the hole and kind of talk about it. Layer 12, I see people pushing to like layer 14. Takes a lot of kills to do, but the way you want to do that is kind of take a look specifically at the Grotto Cavern here, multiplying the effect that Gloomy kills have. Gloomy Cavern does give you a little bit of drop rate, mind you, because of an engineer schematic. So every layer gives you, I think, a 5% additive drop rate. This Looty bonus here. So if I go over to the guy here, Gloomy Looty, this one gives you 5% drop rate for Monarch killed. In this case, you killed 11 of them, so it gives you 55% flat drop rate, which again gets multiplied by the various multis we have now available with World 7 and the name tag and gallery bonus multi. So that's one way you can scale your drop rate just a little bit, getting 5% extra by clearing another cave. You have the measure bonus here for drop rate. I don't know if you've done this post World 7, but you can probably get this measure upgrade up another like 20-30 levels or so. You just need to obviously level up and focus on this rupee, get more of this rupee, and upgrade this. I would recommend probably splitting your opals more into Belaya. If you have Jark, the artifacts, the Jartifacts, rather, the collectibles done, then you can focus pretty much everything into Roseworld to increase the study rate for Belaya. There's really no reason for you to pump levels into Explorer because it's already been stated to my knowledge that the EXP for Explorer is going to get redistributed similar to what it was for Cavern 11 through 15. So don't put all of your opals into one character. Also, talking about opal investment, you have 315 plus opals. So what you can do to actually get more experience is actually split your opals. So you're at this point where probably your villager EXP multi is insanely high, and you have a requisite amount of opals to where you can do this. So I would recommend at this point splitting your opals. So how do you actually split your opals? So let me take a look real quick at your Cosmo bonus here. So to split your opals does require this upgrade to have more pips invested into it. So you need to max this out. The villager EXP per 5 opals invest in the villager is insanely powerful. I'm going to demonstrate this live. Give me 1 second to get away from AC grinding to kind of show this. So give me a second while I set this up. Let's go take a look here. Get out of cultist form. Let's go over to World 5 and Caverns because I want to showcase this. So I currently do a 25 opal split among my my villagers. Right now, with 25 opals on one guy, it's giving me 51 trillion EXP. And with Belaya right now, 699 trillion with the rest of my opals pretty much invested. So this is a 25 opal split. And again, this requires the upgrade here from Belaya, this up to 8% per 5 opals invested. Okay, so what you should do is invest in that upgrade from Cosmo, max it out if you can, and you should split your opals. Instead of doing 25, I probably recommend around 15. You'll probably get more total EXP than you would just going all in investment right now. I'm going to showcase this live. So watch this number, 699 trillion. That's the number to look out for. So what is splitting opals versus pure investment is actually a very massive difference, more so than you'd expect. So going all in investment on Belaya, this is going to take a while because I have 424 opals to do. Give it a second while I click 400. I can hold down, right? Yeah, I can hold down. Cool. Sit here. Let me just watch and wait. It's a very fun mechanic. Thank you, Armored Saint, for the follow. Remember, the number was 699 trillion before. Okay. Wow, would you look at that? 662 trillion. 662 trillion. So by me not splitting opals at where I'm at, I'm actually losing 30 trillion EXP on one character because I'm doing an all-in investment. Oh, you can't see the number due to chat? I guess that's, yeah. There we go. That's better. So I was at 699 trillion EXP with a 25 opal split before. Now I'm at 662 because I went all in. So I'm actually losing EXP on one villager, not doing a split. If I split, I get more EXP not only on Belaya, but also the other villagers, which is more, efficient. So if you're at the point of, say, 200 plus opals, I recommend splitting your opals 15 on each of the characters and then going all in on one. So 15 on Explorer, 15 on Engineer, 15 on Cosmo, 15 on Measurer, and then all in on Belaya. Or if you're pushing a specific one to unlock the rest of the Engineer schematics, or trying to get more upgrades from Cosmo, or trying to push the last 15 upgrade here from the Measurer, you can do that. Is 25. Yes, it's good for me because I have so many opals to spare, but for you with your 300, maybe don't do 25. You can do 15 and probably do a bit more. I'm going to reset my opals again here real quick. I want to take a look about 15 and see if that's better or not. The exact math I don't know of. I don't know what's better for me, 15 or 25, truthfully. Okay, everything's got 15. Multiples of 5, yes. It says XP per villager EXP per 5 opals vested with the least. That's why you want to split it to take advantage of this. Because if one character has 0, then you're getting 0 of this bonus. So the number to beat is 699 trillion EXP per hour. Getting close. So right now I'm going to add 5 to all these characters. So 549 trillion. Up to 584 trillion. So that was a, 35 trillion increase from splitting the opals across the characters. I'd say it's pretty good, considering that also impacts the other characters' levels, right? That's more EXP for Explorer, Engineer, Cosmo, as well as me now, the Measurer. So splitting it at some point is actually pretty good. I generally recommend splitting once you're past level, once you have at least 200 opals, because it's more or less a quality of life thing. It may not be mathematically accurate or efficient at that point, but it gets you into the habit, or rather it allows you to kind of split the EXP a little bit better. And, leveling up everything at once when you're deep into the hole, at least Cavern 15, honestly is probably the better thing to do for your sanity, as opposed to resetting, going all in all the time. So when you get 200 plus opals, I recommend the split. I recommend starting the split at 15 opals on your characters, and then once you get into like 300, 350, experiment with 20, experiment with 25, see if it's better. But obviously I still have a bunch of opals here, so I'm going to save 20. So already I'm past or near where I was before. So I might be able to get this up to 25 and get a little bit better. I don't know how much extra EXP I might be getting if I... So I was at 699 trillion before, so 40 trillion. I don't think I'm going to get that with an extra 10. So I'm going to go 5 here. I might not, who knows. But now I'm sitting at 699 trillion. So again, going split opals for me is more EXP than going all in, because it seems like this measure bonus is behaving in a different ways. It could be a separate multiplier. It could be, something different with village EXP. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, moral of the story is at some point splitting opals is better than going all in. When you're early on the whole pre-200 opals, I probably recommend going all in. But after 200, doing the split method's good. And remember, it does require this upgrade here, equal spread from Cosmo, to actually work. Without this, splitting opals does nothing, and you're kind of wasting points. So don't worry about it. Cool. Okay, moving away from that. Figure back on desktop view. Cool. So yeah, make sure to upgrade this. Make sure to actually split your opals in increments of 5, because this bonus increases with that 5 increment. I also recommend probably focusing more points into the village magic here. So you can actually take points away from like forge capacity. It just kind of depends if you are, relying on it. Like if you're actually doing like vial grinding or something, you want this upgrade. But if you're not and trying to level up villager EXP, and to be honest, I think in the short term, you probably should take points away from forge capacity and put it into the villager split, because obviously you can hold off on vial grinding a little bit for God Shard or Dreadlow or whatever. Sure, maybe, I don't know. And then you can probably get a little bit more Jar Ruby multi or something. Yeah. Also, what's the current ballot bonus right now? .3D printer. I guess you could technically, you could take away from the ballot bonus multi if you really want to, because this week's not that impactful. And then you can actually do the most opal dump into Cosmo to level up and get more like Cosmo upgrades, and then spend those back into ballot bonus, right? Or you can spend that back into into Belaya and get more study rate, right? But yeah, going back to what we're talking about before, which is drop rate. The other way to scale drop rate is from Sanctum. So Sanctum has essentially two ways to scale drop rate. One, killing golems itself levels up the measurer upgrade. It increases the bonus here from this last one because it requires golem kills. So getting a bunch more drop, I wouldn't say a bunch more, but it's a little bit extra flat drop rate, which again gets multiplied if you have drop rate multi. And then obviously progressing the Sanctum itself is a way to get drop rate. Again, there's just a measure schematic that's more impactful than the Grotto here. The Grotto gives you 5% per monarch killed versus Sanctum gives you 20%. So it is a 4 times increase over that base amount, but this is base drop rate, which again gets multiplied by drop rate multi. So 340% because you cleared 17 total layers of it. You can push this higher. The end game goal for Golem at this point is try to get to Sanctum 40. You can get to 30 relatively easily. It does take a lot of effort and you clicking. The general goal for Golem, the mechanic here, is to level up Illuminate. Amplify just seemingly just doesn't work that well, so it's kind of worthless to put torches into here. But if this, I actually don't know how this works or if it works even, but I know mob respawn just doesn't work for golems, so you don't really care about it. You want to spend most of your points into Illuminate. As you push into like Sanctum 30 plus, pushing Illuminate to 20 times, 22, 25 times is absolutely necessary. And the goal with searching is pretty much the exact same as you'd expect with gaming. I remember back in the day with gaming, the way to unlock things like the chemical plant was pretty much just upgrade whenever you have points into it. Exact same thing. If you have torches, you want to pretty much upgrade search, unless you're upgrading Illuminate, obviously, right? So you want to get your Illuminate to the point where you're happy with it, like 20 to 20 times if you're in the 30 plus layer range. And then you just want to click on search. Even if it has a 0% visual amount for the golems, you still want to do it because it actually is just rounding down to 0.00, but visually at least. But in the actual game code, it's not a 0% chance to actually find the next golem. So similar to pretty much anything else in this game, at 0% is basically nothing, right? It's not nothing. So just click on search, and the goal is get lucky. And as you get higher layers of the Sanctum, that's pretty much what you want to rely on. It's just trying to brute force it at very low search percent chance. So it's going to take a lot of clicking, but it's absolutely worth it for the amount of drop rate that you get. Okay, and that's one way you can kind of scale that. Cool. Also, as you kill golems, you drop Dragon Warrior statues. If you AFK there to get more golem kills, highly recommend that, by the way, to get more Dragon Warrior statue level, because Dragon Warrior statue is insane, especially because of Zenith statue bonus, and it's going to impact the daily coral you get, the Spelunking EXP, and pretty much everything else, because statues apply to a vast majority of your account. And getting up to 400 Dragon Warrior statue, 450 I've seen people push, is really, really good, because obviously the statue bonus is a multiplier to pretty much every good game mechanic. You have mining power, you have chopping, catching, boost food, especially for weapon power. This will help you push more emperors. So getting more emperor rounds completed. This is one of the ways this is one of the things you want to focus on if you want to get more damage, is the feasty statue. I think I talk about this somewhat infrequently, but the best boost food setup, if you want to push emperor, basically you want to have a setup of this type of food. You want golden kebabs, golden grilled cheese sandwiches. You want cold seeker bullets, FMJ, You want the boost food from the event and the midnight cookie. If you don't have this event boost food, this is weapon power, by the way, you can replace with bullets. That's completely fine. But these right here give you so much weapon power, and these get impacted by the feisty statue. I can't show you right now because I'm in AC, but this is I think a 100 times damage increase for my character when I'm doing damage push. And this is also what you want to do for pushing Reliquarium name tags. So I talked about this in another account review, I think, where those weapon powered boost foods are insane, specifically for pushing Reliquarium name tag, pushing Emperor. So that's kind of the setup you want to do. And getting more feisty statue is going to provide you more damage. Getting more Dragon Warrior statue is going to provide you more damage because it scales the feisty statue. So absolutely do some more statue grinding. Try to get up to 400 Dragon Warrior statue. So stick your characters back into the hole, go level up, and try to get more statues. Make sure you don't have cluster turned on because that will obviously turn your Dragon Warrior statues into Zenith clusters, which is not very nice. So yeah, talking about Zenith market as well, because your drop rate's relatively low, I don't think this is going to be a huge focus for you right now. But as you get more drop rate, come back to Zenith statues. And what I'd recommend is, in the short term, upgrade double clusters. Try to get this to probably like 205% for where you are right now. And then if you push into the 2,000, 3,000 drop rate in the near future, who knows, there might be more drop rate sources coming out. That'll provide you a very decent amount of Zenith cluster drop. And then pushing this to 305% chance is really, really good. Cool. Okay, moving away from that. Let's go back through World 1. Again, stamps are something I kind of neglect. Unfortunate Exalt on Forge capacity stamp. Okay. Wow. Okay. Dementia Sword, unfortunate. Croc level 25, amazing. Okay. I mean, if anything, I see some upgrades here that you can actually, utilize cost reduction for. Like, for example, Crystalline Stamp, I think you could actually level this up pretty much naturally. So I'd probably recommend using a 90% cost reduction, upgrade Crystalline. You can definitely get another few levels here just with the boring bricks. So the way you want to go about this is to create multiple stacks in your inventory. I think I talked about this in another review as well, but you can force make multiple stacks of an item in your storage, like jungle logs, for example, because you need that for construction, to then put on your V-Man, because it has higher material capacity because of the talent in the first page for beginner is material carry capacity. So you can level up this stamp a lot more on your V-Man. You probably get another 20 levels or 30 levels, honestly. Jungle logs, yeah. I have enough to get to 300 Pantheon Shrine. Cool. Okay. Take a look at your bubbles. It's unfortunate you've exalted Swift Steppin' as opposed to any of the other ones. You have Drop and Loads exalted, okay. Sample it? Remain cool, man. Hyper... That sample, it was said by 3 people from main Discord it was good. Okay, so the reason I'm cringing, I want to give context here. The sample rate bubble caps at 90%, and you can get this without prisming the bubble. Obviously, there's plenty of sources of sample rate. There's the Royal Sampler Prayer if you're really struggling. It's got a very small amount of EXP reduction, so it's good to put on if you're an early game player. You also have the bubble itself just naturally leveling up will give you a lot of sample rate. There's 2 stamps for sample rate. There's a vial for it, so as you get level 13 vials, you get more sample rate, and it caps at 90%. So unless there's some future update, there's no reason to push it past 90, and exalting is definitely not good. Prowessary is also a mechanic as it relates to skill efficiency. It caps at 2 times. So prisming it is awful. Do not do it. You can get this naturally with just like the leak meal. That's it. And the leak meal covers prowess area and you're done with it. Leveling up the bubble like 200 times, I think, is also sufficient to get that 2x prowess area cap. And also you have, I think, post office box provides some prowess area bonus. Star signs, I think, is... No, not star signs. But, I mean, the leak meal itself just straight up covers prowess area. So this is absolutely straight F dog tier. Do not consider prismaing. Honestly, even leveling it up is a waste of your time because the leak meal from cooking itself just completely caps this out. Again, could be some change to that in the future. We don't know. So yeah, quick slap itself. This is base damage. Not the worst prisma I've seen, clearly. But there's better choices, definitely. Especially when you can just upgrade stats for the time being. The DR1 I can understand, like I can get behind its small amount of drop rates. So like not the best prisma again, because prisma bubbles are very limited in source and scope. So it's not worth the value of a prisma bubble, especially since we can't reset them. You're kind of locked into it. A better one is Shimmeron, because this is gold food effect and it's drop rate, right? It gives a lot of drop rate from Beanstalk and also gives it on your character if you have it. So this is like an insane one, not only for the drop rate, but also for the AFK gains, the all stat, the total damage, the HP, mining efficiency, fishing efficiency. Like gold food is a very important bubble to Prisma if you have fragments for it. Gifts Abound, this effectively caps. This is also a bad one to do. I think it was like 30-40% or something, like it caps out at. So you can actually get this naturally like hard capped out. Prismaing it actually does nothing. So yeah, but I mean 40%, got it. Smoke, I mean, think about this. The 173% gold food effect also gets multiplied by 2 sources: shaman levels and also the secret set. So this is drowned out by Yummy Peach Ring for sure, but this is 173 gold food effect. 90, 70 if you don't have it, but this is really, really good. Also, I realize Twitch chat's not available here in the stream. I think that's because my camera is hiding it. It is. Okay. There we go. All right, that's why I don't have camera there. There are important Prisma options, but for how broad Shimmeron impacts your account, I still think it's a good one to do. Also, the fact this gets multiplied by Warrior's Rule makes it why your Deathbringer and DK are really good for candying mob materials, because this effect from Shimmeron gets further multiplied by the Warrior's Rule bubble, allowing you to get more like Gmush kills, allowing you to get like rare mob materials if you candy it. So this is good because it also gives you drop rate under DK, right? Like this, okay, so the 173 gold food effect gets multiplied by 7, okay? So that's almost 1,000% flat gold food effect or something? I might be miscalculating that or something, you know, close to 1,000. That's pretty good. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I think your other Prismas are okay. Cattle the Goat, I think it's a good one. Tachyon Bubble, I think is also a good one. Hyper Swift's not really a good one. You have Cauliflower Meal, basically covers most of the attack speed that you would need. So not that good, in my opinion. Okay, Sigil. Codfree's not Prisma. Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, that is a good one to do. Yeah, Codfree is absolutely one you want to Prisma. So Gallery Bonus Multi. This is a multiplier to other multis in the game. So name tags give you drop rate multi if you have the Dead Bones or if you have Reliquarium. And this effectively multiplies the multi from those sources. So this is an insane one to do. Absolutely, this is the #1 bubble to Prisma out of every single bubble in the game because of how broad it is. You're not getting any. Okay, eventually in AC, you'll be able to get more Prisma bubbles with drop rate crossfire, which makes your drop rate scale the drop rate of your Prisma bubbles. So you can eventually do that. Larry first, I guess, sure. This is, I still think, number one. I like how broad this is, and with how diminished alchemy is going to be in the future. I still think Codfree Rules is an insane bubble to Prisma because of, outside of alchemy, how broad this impacts the game. Drop rate multi, class EXP, kill per kill, multi kill per tier, all stat, AFK gain multi, like it's insane. Okay, so your goal with vials is to try to get a little bit more 13 vials, specifically with Wriggle Water, with Scale on Ice, and with Crabamace. Crabamace is going to take a very long time to do. You kind of need to rely on printing for Scale on Ice, so getting even a pretty bad print on your characters is recommended, because there's various like print multis you have, right? You have Arctis, you have Harriet, you have there's an event shop upgrade. I don't know if you've gotten that before, but that also gives you a print multi. There's Windwalker has print multi. There's Big Ol' Mole Pet Companion if you have that. It kind of locked out of it now if you don't have it. There's a Legend talent for print rate multi. Drug Rapture, thank you so much. You have the Gold Relic from Sailing, obviously. So even a 5k print is sufficient. Because you'll be able to get this to 1 billion, probably take a few days, few weeks, maybe. Same with Crabamace. It's going to take a few days, few weeks, maybe. But you can actually go into, if you have enough damage with V-Man, remember that you can equip weapon power food during the speedrun to try to push a little bit further. You can potentially get to EMC Earl and get a speedrun print for Wriggle Water to get this level 13 faster. If you can't, then you can obviously just print this on your characters and try to get this level 13. Yeah, as for the chapters themselves, you can't really get these to 13 easy. What I'm doing, I want to try to get these vials to 13. It's going to take a lot of effort, but what I'm doing is I'm taking a bunch of the first chapters here, this one. I'm reading up to 8 of them a day. I'm reading a stack of 24,999 at a time because 25,000 is the level to where you can get the 3rd Spelunking lore chapter upgraded, the faster spelunking speed, and I don't want this. I specifically want to target base spelunking efficiency and total spelunking efficiency. Total spelunking efficiency does decay, but the base efficiency itself does not. It scales linearly. So you can actually get a ton of base spelunking efficiency, and over 3 days, I went from around 8 billion spelunking efficiency to 13 billion. So that base efficiency is insane because it multiplies the spelunking efficiency you have there. Also because I have this bubble Prisma, Spapunky, and also because of other, I also have the Stamp Exalted, I think. I wouldn't recommend Exalting the Stamp or Prismaing the bubble, to be honest, especially if you're low on Prismas. But it's worth it. It gives you a ton of spelunking efficiency, and as you get more spelunking efficiency, you get more of these chapters dropping, which means you can, over time, get enough efficiency to get these vials to 13. It just takes a long time to do so. So I'd recommend, getting on that grind now. That way, 8 months down the line, you have enough efficiency to go for other caves if they're introduced in World 7, right? Cool. You've been doing that too, Giggle. I'm glad Giggle and I have the same brain cell. Is there a guide for AC Master upgrades? What do you mean Master? Like Tesseract upgrades? I recommend using Idleon Efficiency as a pretty good, actually, condensed upgrade guide, or like a upgrade path. I just upgraded the cheapest upgrade, to be honest with you. Once I got to, I think, Massive on Hoarding, I started utilizing the daily masterclass cost reduction from the Legend talent a bit more. I did an account review for someone off stream yesterday, which is going to go up on Monday. I went very in depth about masterclasses there. So when that video comes out, I highly recommend looking at it because I went into a lot of detail about how I progressed AC a little bit, as well as, how you progress the other masterclasses. Or, calling out different guides in the Discord, which upgrades are kind of good, that kind of stuff. Hey, Caleb, what's up? I don't know if there's an update today. Okay. Similar to other people I've seen, remember to go ahead and eclipse World 7 mobs. You still have Demon Blood. This is at Diamond Skull. I don't even know what this is. But remember to get it to Eclipse, because remember, Eclipse Skulls are a damage multi, but it's also a multi-kill bonus. World 7 has nerfed multi-kill because it requires 5 times the damage of normal of the mob's HP to at least get a tier. And also on top of that, just nerfs the multi-kill requirement to up to like 95%. So yes, multi-kill's kind of bad, but it's still useful in World 7. So every little bit still helps. So get your mobs up to Eclipse Skull for that damage multi and for that multi-kill bonus inside the world. I don't even know why I'm looking at that. Luckiest Lad is not a recipe, it's a rare drop from World 7. Rare is an understatement. It's exceedingly rare. It's like WoW Golden Legendary from Hearthstone, you know? Hold on, you don't have Diabolical set. Complete this armor set. This is 20% mob respawn. This is a multiplier to your fighting AFK gains. This is insane. 100% insane. This might help you push World 7 a bit faster and get more multi-kill. I actually don't know if this impacts World 7, but this is like really, really good. So, Gidog, complete this set. Talk to Guy. It's really, really good for fighting AFK gains. Those of you that don't know, fighting is heavily influenced by mob respawn. So the more mob respawn you have, it is fantastic for kills. Okay, hats. So there are 2 hats here. There's a few hats here I see you can actually... Okay. I'm pretty sure one of these is craftable. Yeah, there you go. You have Honker hat. So you have one hat that you can craft right here that you're missing on your hat racks. This is extra hat multi. So craft it, give it to Harold, give you some extra multi. Also gives you a little bit of extra money percent. These 2 right here are from random events. So you are missing those. So whenever those come up in rotation, highly recommend doing that to help you get extra hat multi. Celebration, I mean, that's event. The rest of these are event. I can't see how to get the honker. It might be achievement related. Oh, here you go. Have exactly 1 million honkers in your honk chest. So this is actually a fairly easy achievement. I unfortunately can't show you how to do it right now, but I'll try to explain it conceptually. Get 1 million honkers in your inventory and then make a separate stack. So put that right here, for example, and then make a separate million stack, and then just kind of like cloud save, talk to not Slab, but like, I don't know, just like take a look at the achievements tab, click on it, drag it around your inventory until you unlock the achievement. And that's how you get the recipe. And then you should be able to craft it. Should be relatively easy, especially if you have more than 1 million stack, you are still able to get this achievement. And that'll apply to the other achievements that are in the game that require a stack of a specific amount. You just create a separate stack in your inventory, in your storage, that is, and you should be able to unlock the achievement. Okay, so probably Star Sign Grinder you need to be. Okay, so you have some drop rate here. This is small drop rate for sure, but this is still a decent source of drop rate considering how free it is these days. Your shiny multi currently is only 16,700, which previous days was okay. Nowadays it's relatively low because there's various multis to it, but Zenith cluster farming will increase can increase lamp wishes, lamp increase bonus. So you can actually just level up the lamp wish for World 4 stuff to increase your shiny pet gain here. If you can increase your crop bonus. So if you haven't gotten 280 crops yet, relatively easy to do these days. And you do have it. So probably the best way to go about scaling shiny pet farming is actually doing Deathbringer grinding. if you go over to the Grimoire, there's an upgrade here called Superior Crop Research. This one right here. Leveling this up to like 100 plus, I'd recommend, because this increases the bonuses from the Crop Scientist pencil. So this increases shiny pet rate, and that'll help you in the long run because it'll help you get more drop rate, right? More multi-kill per tier, more all stat, more infinite star signs. I recommend doing that now because they're guarantee you there's going to be star signs in World 7. And you kind of want to future prep for when the star signs come out to make them automatically infinite, right? So you want to do a little bit of shiny pet farming. Even if you don't active Windwalker, you can put them in your fence yard for those level 1 shiny pets and get them up to like level 10 fairly quickly without much effort. And speaking about pets, these are the most important ones. Bonuses from all meals. Meals give you so much like account progress, it's insane. Specifically the gold food effect, it's really, really good. Especially since we were just talking about Shimmeron and how good it is, right? That gold food effect is good for drop rate. It's good for AFK gains, all stat, damage, HP, mining efficiency, fishing efficiency, skill EXP, ton of stuff. So highly recommend trying to get these specific pets level 20. If anything, if you do active Windwalker, make sure you have half your fence yard with red mushroom, half your fence yard with sheepy, and try to max these at a level 20 because this is a multiplier to meal bonuses, and it's one of the main reasons people push endless summoning outside of obviously max level for Equinox. Like, this is insanely powerful and very, very important, and this is how you get high gold food effect. If I go to my beanstalk, I'm roughly 30k percent gold food effect on a warrior because of all the meal bonuses here and how much yummy peach ring impacts gold food effect. Okay, pretty decent tome points. Okay, have not yet finished sailing, so make sure to finish sailing. Okay, pretty decent blessing bonus. Okay. It's just kind of skipping over things. I don't think you need too much. Okay. Timmy Talents is good. Honestly, at this point, I think it's just a mix of snail level, maybe. Okay, not snail level. I guess nugget. That's about it. 4 billion nugget. Okay, I guess it's not nugget. Not snail. You should be able to get Timmy Talented fairly quickly, to be honest with you. I got this at worse odds, at worse stats than you, so you should be able to get Timmy Talented fairly quickly. He's a 46 snail with a 4 billion nugget. I guess Bravery, the monument itself, maybe? Yeah, this Timmy Talented should be fairly free for you, to be completely honest with you. What's your shell rank? Can't tell. If you can't get it, then there's a few things I recommend. So I would probably turn off palette. I recommend turning off palette. I recommend going to World 5 Town, and I recommend doing like instant gaming. So instant gaming is still a thing. It requires a lot of investment through palette specifically. There's growth speed here. 2 palette upgrades. There's chartreuse and there's minty blue. These are fairly high levels. You should be able to do instant gaming. So go to World 5 Town. Well, you can go out of World 5 Town first. Remember to turn off Kitsune at this point. Turn off palette. Go to World 5 Town and do instant gaming for like, I don't know, like maybe 20 minutes. At most, you should be able to get this at level. You should be able to finish and get Timmy Talented fairly easily. And the reason you turn off Kitsune is because of how much growth speed you have because of palette. You pretty much get max tier crops instantly, even with Kitsune off. The reason you want palette off is because it's a 100 times slower growth speed. So you definitely want to turn this off. Turn Kitsune off. And go to World 5 Town and just go ham because you have a 4 billion nugget and 46 snail. I don't see any reason why you don't have Timmy Talented. Also, you have 72 logbook, but for those of you that don't have it but have the palette upgrades for growth speed, you can probably fairly easily get logbook to 72. Emperor maybe. Green mid gain, summoner win bonus. Okay, 101's not bad. Again, going back to the gold food discussion we had, or weapon power and boost food, once you get Feisty statue up and Dragon Warrior statue up, you can probably clear more Emperors, so make sure to do that. I recommend getting your various beanstalk stuff up to, the max, getting to 1 million. You have 1 million gold pies, 1 million gold dumplings, 1 million gold hamburger gummies. It's just like free beanstalk you can just complete for completionist sake. But for other stuff, it's really important. Like the gold peanuts, having 1 million on the beanstalk is really good. The golden bread having 100k. Apparently having 1 mil, yeah. The AFK gain you get from golden dumplings is pretty good. You can also candy some of this stuff. Make sure to candy the perler shells. Make sure to candy the moon moons. Make sure to candy and try to get more golden cakes. If you don't have the recipe, unfortunate. I guess just try. I don't know. How do you get the unlock for dropping 1 mil stacks? It is at the Litterfish map in World 7. It's a quest line from one of the NPCs there. Okay, so you're at 15 QQ power. You should be able to complete the this guy right here. The potion setup I recommend is this. Don't pop the green potion until you get deeper into the depths. But the reason you want this is to help you save on stamina. You want this to help you save on stamina. You want this to help you clear the waves a little bit faster. And you can use this when you're near the boss to try to get that power bonus to kill it. Make sure do not progress on auto. The reason you don't want to progress on auto is because it doesn't let you get the... Where is the upgrade? It's somewhere over here. I don't know where it is. There's an upgrade within Spelunking that makes it so here it is. You get extra potions. Every 5th depth that you clear, there's one object will hold a potion. You want to make sure you stop on those 5th floors until you get the potion. Okay, very, very important to help you scale your shadow strikes, but also allow you to get more stamina protection. You generally can clear Cave 7 around. I did it at 12 QQ. People have done it at much lower. I would recommend doing it at 12 QQ and having all characters slotted in at least around like 1,000 stamina. Just to kind of overkill it, because even at 12 QQ power, it took me a very long time to kill it, and I wasted about 7 characters worth of stamina. So it does take a lot of effort, a lot of luck, but that's the best way to go about it. If you want to save off a little bit and wait until you get higher power, that's also completely fine. I probably recommend doing a little bit of lore chapter farming, trying to get more spelunking power through this, trying to upgrade your construction shrines, trying to get more slab done to get you more spelunking power as well, getting more discoveries, getting more grand discoveries, upgrading your shop bonuses for power, stuff like that, right? Incremental stuff. But you're at 15 QQ. I think you should be more than fine, especially if you have like at least 8 characters with 1k plus stamina. Okay, you have a lot of drop rate you can get from greatest drop party ever. Like this is a lot of additive drop rate. This is also a lot of additive gold food. Like these should be no-brainers that you want to put legend points into because of how much they give you. Like it's really, really good. Okay. Is it even good? I'm gonna pause and let you think about it. This is 500% flat drop rate that gets multiplied. So if you have 20% drop rate multi, no, it's not. No, it's 20x drop rate. So 20x times 1.2, that's 24 drop rate. 24 in that, if you have a 20% drop rate multi. This is additive to like the stuff that's normally additive, not the multipliers. This gets multiplied. Similar to the gold food bonus, this is really good because this gives you more drop rate as well. So don't listen to main chord, to be honest. I feel like there's people that troll there all the time. I mean, that was evident in the fact they told you to Prisma sample it of all bubbles. Greatest drop party ever and Medusian Appetite are insane for drop rate. Okay, last upgrade here for Tome is World 3 skill percent, so obviously the gallery bonus here is really good because it gives you drop rate multi, so really good. And we're level 5, okay. Cool, okay, well, G-Dog, is there anything else you want me to go over real quick before I go ahead and end the review? Let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to be scrolling through AC weapons. It was 764. Dog. EXP gain. Okay, sure. Probably biggest source of that. Hey, Zerf Source. Thank you for the T1. Best source, that's Pantheon Shrine. Honestly, like fairly easily. This gives you a ton of EXP. Just takes a long time to complete, but this is a true class EXP multi. You also have Justice, gives you additive class EXP, but it gets multiplied by class EXP multi. You have this character, Talents. You have the Slayer Abomination. This is class EXP multi. You have to make sure that obviously you've killed the abominations. Okay, you've killed all the abominations. That's good. Wow. Okay. Well, here you're missing a ton of class EXP here. I mean, that. There you go. Get your Justice 24k, and then do this reward multi here, and get a ton of class EXP. Like this is additive. Yes, it's a lot. The bubble gets drowned out by Justice, to be honest. So yes, you have grind time, sure, but it's probably more time efficient to do Justice, to be honest. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Get Justice to 24k. Cheaper masterclass is for one. It's split across, so 24 in whatever one you choose. Not 24 each, 24 in one, or split amongst them. You have 24 total masterclass upgrades that are cheaper. Other class EXP mults. You have Coral Kid, which doesn't show up here. Coral Kid gives you class EXP multi per god rank that you have. So if you have god rank, actually I can probably see you have god rank. You have god rank 10. So leveling up Coral Kid, getting divinity points will give you a ton of class EXP multi by leveling up Coral Kid. People still level grind time. I don't, mostly because the Coral Reef handles pretty much that for me. Gives me the 150 levels per day. I have not touched grind time since Justice Monument came out. All right. Let's go ahead and stop there. 235, 12, P-Dog. All right, perfect. Well, thank you, YouTube, for stopping by. Appreciate you guys watching. And as always, have a great day. Bye-bye. Cool. No problem. All right, I gotta scroll through some. Is the last upgrade for Purple Coral worth it? Or should focus on Gallery? Focus on Gallery. Last upgrade from Tome Epilogue is World 7 Skill 3 EXP percent. Which there is no Skill 3 yet, so worthless. The most important thing on AC is a 967. Most important thing in AC is like wand quality and ring quality. Fractal Tesseract, stuff like that. The best way to get better nugget in gaming, the metal detector upgrade from Equinox. So farming nuggets. So again, turning off pallet, going to World 5 town, just spamming farming, spamming chems. These wands are all terrible. 115, not better. You can do it with pallet, but it takes longer. Okay, done with weapons for the day. What about rings? And more rings. I probably won't get anything better. Does Toolbox or IE show you the better wand? I have no idea, to be honest. Hey Zeus, what's up? Markov Gidog? No, just click your nugget every time you can. Are you on the list, Zeus? Kitsune off. It wasn't for Kitsune, it was for Timmy Talented, trying to get more bits for that. Because turning Kitsune off gives you more bits. And if you're a pallet off, Kitsune off also gives you a bunch of bit gain. Because you have probably more than enough gaming speed to where you're growing up to pretty much the last tier of plants anyways. So Kitsune off is better if you have pallet off. If you have pallet on, Kitsune on. Maps you farm with AC or stuck of woodland spirits depends on your damage. You do random account reviews? No, I've given away account reviews 3 months ago that I still haven't completed, so I'm trying to go through that list. I want to give account reviews to the people that have already won account reviews that I promised 3 months ago. How important is leveling divinity after you get the last god? Very important. Because it gives you a lot of stuff. How many left? 10? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 non-paid reviews, 6 giveaway reviews, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 paid reviews. So 10 reviews, yeah. I think review channel point redemption is like 20k. Why is it better to go to World 5? So you can't. So you can use this, but at most this will refresh every 5 seconds. Versus if you do it in World 5 Town, will reset every 1 second. If you have enough gaming speed. So like here, see the speed here? Like, let me clear out Sprinkler. There you go, Sprinkler done. It's about every 5 seconds plants will start growing. Right? If I turn palette off, still about every 5 seconds, but it's higher tier. And if I leave here and go to World 5 Town, things are growing much, much faster here on a 1 second timer. Hey, money, yeah, thank you for the 100 bits. So it grows much, much faster. It's the best way to get construction speed. 16 trillion build rate. I mean, if you haven't prismaed this bubble, I recommend prismaing it or trying to use atoms to get this higher. This build speed here is a multiplier. You also do need 2 DKs. 2 DKs is really, really good. Getting better cogs, if you have the Yang cogs, these are really good because it gives you enough build rate. Xcog is as well. Best way to complete Logbush is sitting in town then? It depends how much gaming speed you have, yes. If you have these palette upgrades here for growth speed, then yeah, you can just sit in World 5 Town and probably... I can click a chemical right now, and I have... Those are all tier 7 plants. Done. Gone. Over. Or tier 8 plants, whatever. Speed on Squirrel is about 3,861 acorns. Anyways, I'm going to turn palette back on. Wait, hold on, turn it back off real quick. Yes, palette bonus applies when it's off. So he said, so what maps are you farming now for Tachyon? Stillworms for green, yeah. I do Sprout Spirits for red. Woodland Spirits for brown Tachyons. World 5 Town is faster because it has a tick rate of 1 second versus anywhere else is 5 seconds. Only reason to keep it on is to level it up and unlock new colors, correct. Best source of bit gain, a higher nugget, higher snail, and then you have bravery for bit gain as well. You have enough jobs from this. Okay. many rocks do I have? 83. For an account in about the same position as you, what do you recommend actually taking on bravery? The true answer to that is do not do bravery until the meritocracy ballot comes out. For someone like me. How much damage do you need to clear woodland spirits? Honestly, not that much. I think people have cleared it with like 120 mil. Do they press hours and monuments? Do they? Maybe. Any tips for Nugget? Equinox. The Equinox plus the legend talent. Or Nugget. And then just spamming chemicals, refreshing the speed. Can't remember how much I get here. Idleon, efficiency. Let's take a look. Gaming upgrade levels. How about these? There's those. Use my squirrel. Use imports. There's mutation. And then super and duper bits are all done. And then my snails level 45. 46, I mean. What's after Uber? I don't know. Yeah, what were my rates here? I don't remember. Tesseract, resource widgets. Wow, okay, this is 143 trillion. Uh-oh. We have crash efficiency. Debating. I want to. Okay, I have to consult my spreadsheet here. That website, rather. So 1100 will make 79 weapon power the max. So I'm at 1079 right now. 78's my max weapon power. Arcanist damage 113. It's not really that good, to be honest. Okay, does it increase the minimum? It does. Potentially good then. Would you say the required drop rate for World 7 so far? You need a certain amount of... I don't think World 7 really has a required drop rate. It's more so like AFK gains. AFK gains, mob respawn. Masterclass resource battle start yet? Yes, it has. Hence why I'm doing Masterclass stuff right now. So what I want is, I'm going to spend like 40 rocks, I think. Half my stash. Okay. I think I need to use more than 40 rocks here. All right, 1100. Kind of damage plus need to push World 7 fight on map. If you can't multi-kill World 7 mobs, I wouldn't recommend pushing. Ultimately my recommendation. Okay, and then what else do I need? Maybe Jay should have waited until tomorrow to drop the video. Possible Lava won't post it nowadays. Are multi-kill maps better for EXP? No. Sure, highest map you can get to that you can kill. What in the world have I missed? Not much. Welcome in Omega. He did say ooh, yes he did. I just gotta let this sit and fester for a little bit. Gotta let my tachyon rate go up. In the meantime, we'll move on to our second and final account review for today, which is Draw Skills. Let's see, this is Chaos's account, by the way. Hasn't updated yet, but October or December 1st, rather. Pretty good. Yeah, it's Chaos's birthday today, guys. Make sure to say happy birthday to him. Hey, Keon, thank you for the Twitch Prime, by the way. To Uwus and Windwalker. Happy birthday, free review. Okay. Too much Zoom. Okay. You guys ready for another account review? 255, 256. Okay. How does Zenith's plucking statues? You need more drop rate. And AFK gains. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, it's Main here, back again with another account review, and today we're looking at Chaos's account. Chaos is a notable member of our Discord because he's insane. Also 6'7", skibbity toilet, whatever. I don't know. He's like 16 or something. Draught Skills is the name of his account. Trendsetter, I'd say, in Idleon as a candy clicker extraordinaire. RIP. I don't know what else to say. We'll look at his bubbles because there's one thing he is very notable for, and I wonder if it's actually the case in the leaderboards. Let's go take a look, actually. I don't even know where you look at bubbles. Is it like skills? No. Tasks? General. Misc? Character? Okay. Accuracy pusher. Candy clicker, right? Defense. FMJ. Here we go. Here we are. This is the main reason as to why Chaos is so notable, and why I say he's a trendsetter. He's part of the reason people took to pushing Call Me Ash to insane levels. To be 100% transparent and honest, trapping efficiency is useless as a skill. So there's no reason to candy click this bubble other than pure enjoyment. That being said, he has candy clicked this bubble back when candy clicking was possible to 221,000. Where is it? Right here. 220,000, sorry, rounds up, whatever. So, yeah. Awful. This is like the main thing I'd say he's known for. I mean, generally pretty nice guy if you talk to him in the Discord, so nothing against him. It's just, why? You know? Why would you do that? So with that context, let's go take a look at Draught Skills' account and actually give him some advice about what to work out. Maybe he'll listen, maybe he won't, maybe he'll continue inventory clicking Call Me Bob, maybe he won't, or Call Me Ash rather, maybe he won't. But definitely, number one thing I do want to talk about specifically is about, well, statues really. So let's go take a look at past 3 reviews I've done so far have pretty much just talked about statues as a kind of first thing, because obviously post Zenith statues, the most important thing is just going back and leveling up your statues, right? Zenith statues introduce a new deposit bonus similar to Onyx statues. So every statue you have at Zenith gives you another, it's essentially 25% deposit chance, or sorry, deposit increase. So getting your statues to higher levels is just now name of the game. Getting Dragon Warrior to like 400 to 450 is what I recommend, because it provides you more skill efficiency, more boost food effect, more damage, construction, right? EXP, whatever, right? So really, really good. Trying to get more Dragon Warrior statues, probably the most important thing to do out of the entire statue list. And then in my opinion, probably like Divinity EXP, because the statue gives you a ton of Divinity EXP. The boost food statue, trying to get that to 450 like you have right here, maybe 500 if you're really dedicated. Getting honestly the seesaw statue itself to get you a ton of construction EXP is what I recommend, because this was for me competitive with Call Me Bob for a little bit, until obviously Call Me Bob was affected by Cattle Cruck, then now not so much. But this gave a lot of construction EXP for kind of me to start to get more build rate, because more levels on DK means more construction speed, or build rate rather. Cool. Okay. So yeah, statues, obviously, number one. Number two is make sure you have a max stack of golden cheese across your characters, because it's fairly easy to do that depending on your drop rate nowadays. So getting, depending on your mason jar stamp, depending if it's exalted, depending on your exalted stamp bonus, some people are, me personally, I'm hitting like 17.5 mil gold food on a character. So I have roughly 14 to 17 mil gold food, gold cheese across my characters, in addition to the golden dumplings for the AFK gain, because that golden cheese will increase the shrine effect that you have, the AFK gain on shrines, to make you level that up a little bit faster. Some people are hitting like 32, 33 shrines because of how much shrine AFK gain we've gotten with World 7, Shrine EXP with World 7 we've gotten. Also the fact we've been able to push Endless Summoning a little bit further, it providing, summoning win bonuses, which provide more Shrine EXP. Hold on, I think I'm capping. Does it even provide Shrine EXP? I don't even know, man. I'm lying. Never mind. Forget what I said. I guess just gold food. Honestly, gold food effect. Getting a lot of gold food across your characters, and obviously the legend talent allowing you to level up shrines pretty much anywhere is what's allowing people to push really high shrine level. And shrine levels are really important because mostly Crescent Shrine, providing a lot of crystal spawn chance and giant spawn chance. Crystal spawn chance is still useful because it'll increase the amount of drops and EXP you get from crystal mobs, and giant spawns are really good because that's free gems and free candy you get every single week. So really, really good. Obviously the mob respawn, this is also impactful because this will help you push maps a bit faster, get more mob kill per hour. There's the carry capacity. Obviously, as we mentioned, this is really, really good because of like gold food, allowing you to get more than 17 mil on a character at like really min-max setup. If anything, I guess I don't really see Chaos talking a whole lot about masterclass pushing. Because I've already done a video off stream talking about masterclasses in pretty deep detail. I don't really want to talk about it again, but it was earlier in this week. I talked about it in a video. For those of you watching on YouTube, for those of you watching on Twitch, you can't really talk about it because you guys haven't seen it yet. So, but definitely during the masterclass week, which is gone by the time this video comes out, but in this account review as I'm doing on stream, it's still currently here. Pushing your masterclass is definitely something I recommend. Trying to use those masterclass cost reductions every single day to your fullest effect, either on your most expensive upgrade or just pushing like Tesseract, for example, probably what I recommend doing. Trying to get the Jewel of Eternal Energy, trying to go past that and go Pinnacle of Prisma to get more Prisma Bubble effect. Trying to get to Massive on Hoarding is massive, unironically. And then obviously the big pinnacle goal of AC grinding is trying to get to drop rate Crossfire. This makes your drop rate affect Prisma Bubbles. So before this, there's not really a card set recommendation for AC, but after you get this, drop rate is definitely something you want to min-max and get more. Similar to what you do for Windwalker, right? This is very impactful. This allows you to get essentially 2 extra Prisma Bubbles, maybe 3, depending how dedicated you are and how much drop rate you have. But yeah, you can get more Prisma Bubbles through this upgrade because of how insane it is, and it's also impacted by Fractal Tesseract. So every level of this is a little bit more impactful because you get more out of it because of Fractal. And obviously, if you have an insane amount of AC rocks and able to push it during the battle, Endless Reduction is also pretty insane. This reduced the cost of my endless upgrades, or sorry, my summoning upgrades by a factor of about, order of magnitude about 1,000. So this is pretty good. 3 orders of magnitude decrease of cost for pretty much everything in summoning allows me to push endless summoning a little bit further, which is pretty nice. And then I haven't heard of anyone yet at Orion Hoarding, but this should be relatively good because obviously this is a more Tachyon bolt, right? It just sucks that gold Tachyons are relatively hard to come by, but they do give, if you get this upgrade, it should give you a pretty decent amount of Tachyon molt. And this does require you have like thousands of AC rocks, which I only know of one person who saved it up to this point, which I'm pretty mad at him for. So it's all fair in love and war or whatever. Gold Tachyons come from baby trolls in World 6. Diamond Chef, Larry, Starchu, Codfree. Okay, interesting. Only one interesting Prisma that I've seen. Probably focus some more candy clicks on Codfree rules, to be honest. Right, his alchemy is bugged, has been for months. As far as I know, he's attempted to get some resolution to the problem and has not had it fixed yet, but his alchemy is bugged. That's why his cost and speed and everything are above the 170, because there is a very obscure bug that has impacted him. Vials, okay, similar to another review, just get a print of these on your character. Same for Crabba Mace, get a print of these on your characters. Yes, the prints will be low, like they are for mine, for example. Like I'm currently doing Crabba Mace, and I have like an 866, a 1K print, a 100, a 200 print here, but I'm slowly using that to level up the vial to 13. Right now I'm sitting at 568 mil. I was at a 440 or so yesterday. So slow progress, but it'll be another vial up to 13 eventually. So slow effort, but every vial you get to 13 is going to be very good because mostly for me and my purposes, it'll increase the effect of Paper Pint, which gives Masterclass drops. This is a multiplier to Masterclass drops, so that's really good. Also, it'll give you more fucking base critters, I guess, and critters. You worry about trapping efficiency, so getting the vial to 13 should be good for you. Same with Chapter Chug and Paper Pint. Getting these vials to 13 is relatively difficult, as we talked about with Gidog's account, or Gidog, whatever. What I'm doing is I'm basically using my 8 Spelunking chapter reads per day on 24,999 of the first chapter because they provide you base efficiency. So this is essentially what I do. And then just on daily reset, I just claim all these. Obviously, I've already done it for the day. But the reason you would do 24,999 is because it purposefully is one below the number you need to potentially get the last upgrade here, faster spelunking speed. This really only impacts spelunking while you're active, so it's not really worth to get. But the base efficiency and total efficiency are really, really good. You could technically do this for decay surrounds as well, but you get less levels for the base efficiency, which I think, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, might be good because 10,300 base efficiency for 400 levels is really good compared to 542 levels with 6.78k base efficiency. The base efficiency is the one you want to go for because for both of Fear Within and Decay Surrounds, these are linear increases. So every level you get of this will increase it by the same amount. So leveling up base efficiency is absolutely what you want to do. I think I maybe want to get a few more levels here for total spelunking efficiency because this does decay. It's not linear. So eventually this will fall off, but the base efficiency is what you want to chase after. Like I said in the previous video, previous account review with Gidog, I was able to go from about 8 billion spelunking efficiency to 13 billion in just a few days. So the base efficiency is definitely something you want to chase after. I can't remember the chapter breakpoints for the second one. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second. Ooh, 24.99. I don't know how many levels that would actually net me, to be honest. Maybe I do some testing off review just to check. I guess it kind of depends. So maybe do 24,999 of the first chapter, maybe do 24.99 of the second chapter, mix and match, maybe get some base efficiency, but in the long run, that'll help you get more chapters. And that's kind of how you want to push spelunking to get more of this vial to level 13. And then as you get more efficiency, you can consider using, hundreds of thousands of chapters to get more levels out of it every single day. But just know you'll get those higher bonuses much more often. Okay, sigil's all done. Cool. Okay, number one thing in this ballot rotation is to try and get meritocracy bonus. Meritocracy has been meta defining and insane. So getting this upgrade to level 100, trying to super it, obviously costing 210,000 golden balls is insane. But this is one of the most important ones to go after. A gold ball, actually probably number one. Obviously, you need more gold ball. Summoning XP multi, kind of a no-brainer, because obviously more EXP, more skill levels helps you in your account. So pretty good, especially for tome points nowadays. But meritocracy bonus is really good because so far for our meritocracy, we've had monument bonus multi, which just multiplies the reward amount multiplier. So people were hitting 400x justice molt or 400x bravery molt because of this ballot, because of the meritocracy. We've had all skill EXP multi, which has impacted pretty much every skill in the game. We've had Masterclass Resource Multi, which is currently active. Next week's going to be Cattlecruck bonus, Cattlecruck Bubble Multiplier. So I'm going to be getting 5,500 bubble levels per bubble every single day for the one's Cattlecruck effects. And I can't remember what the second week was. Stamina regen multi. So meritocracy has been meta defining because it's made people shift their focus in the game pretty much every single week for the past 4 weeks or so that World 7's been out. So it's fairly insane. This is one of the better upgrades in the arcade shop. It's just a shame it costs 210,000 to get. Fractal Island at 6,300 is very unfortunate. Let's see. As always, what I recommend for Kilroy nowadays is mostly mostly gallery bonus multi. Like I spend about 300 to 400 skulls every single week on the gallery bonus multi, and then the rest of the points. Well, actually, arcade shop first, and then I do the 20-30 upgrades in the gallery bonus multi. And then most of the other stuff into the resource multi, because there's a masterclass resource multi, because I'm obsessed with masterclasses, so I want to progress as much as possible. So that's my focus, and I think it's probably the better focus for where you want to spend your skulls, to be honest, because I don't know what else you'd want to do. You have some gimmicky stuff I guess you could do with like daily crystals, candy you can get, and I guess you could also do World 7 skills, because we don't know what the second skill for World 7 is going to be. We don't know what the third skill for World 7 is going to be. So getting levels into that's probably going to be very impactful. We can chat in Discord for a bit, not during review. Yeah, like I mentioned before, get a print of those mob materials and get those to level 13. The vials, I mean, obviously. Make sure to get materials for these refinery things. Obviously, as you get more atoms, getting aluminum to 50 is a big goal, because it gives you more exalted stamp bonus. That's a more carry capacity, liquid regen, LOL, and like gold hood effect, assuming you have those exalted. I feel like it's just kind of universal. Everyone has this. Crystal spawn chance, obviously. 350 multi-tool, damn. Hat rack. Anything to call out here that you can get? Okay, Crow Perch, this comes from... Okay, you have a few things actually you can get free to play. So Crow Perch comes from Weekly Boss Battle. I think it's a damage multi is what this is. So you can, save up your trophies, wait for Crow Perch. Similar to Pink Headband, save up your trophies, wait for this to come in. This takes 999 trophies, I think, so it takes a lot of weekly boss battles to do. It won't come in rotation for a very long time, so you have some time to actually acquire. So I wouldn't spend any of your trophies on gold stopwatches or silver stopwatches. I would save up 999 to get the Pink Headband, because this is masterclass drops. Also, it's +1 hat, which means it's a multiplier to all the hats that are available so far. So this is a fairly insane one to aim for if you can get it. Crow Perch, it's damage multi. Obviously, it's just +1 hat. Nugget Cake Fedora, this is something you can get free to play. Has his Honker hat, has his Ice Guard helmet. Honker hat, again, as we just talked about, comes from a achievement in World 3. This one right here, you need exactly 1 mil honkers in your honk chest. I didn't showcase this in the previous video because my inventory was filled with AC rings. But yeah, essentially what you want to do to force this achievement is just get another stack of 1 mil in your inventory, or in your storage rather. And then all you want to do is just kind of like close storage, open storage, move it around, right? And then hopefully the achievement will register. And you should be able to get the achievement unlocked and be able to craft it, which takes it's like 100,000 1 mil honkers, 1 diamond dunk, and 25 dense water. Fairly easy recipe. That's +1 hat. You also have Nugget Cake Fedora. Similar, it's an achievement unlock. This one right here, kill Krabby Cakes manually without auto loot on until one drops a Nugget Cake. Fairly easy depending on your drop rate. So I'll unlock that. The recipe for it also similarly very easy. The bonus itself is not really that impactful, but again, it's +1 hat for the hat rack. And then the last one, oh, well, Crow Perch, yeah, obviously. And then you got Red Bodie. Just get lucky. Armor Smithy, everything unlocked, cool. .5% unlucky. Healing's done, Divinity, fairly progressed, okay. Should have the duper bit done, yeah. Cool. So at this point, you're like, I mean, there's still a reason to do gaming, right? It's mostly just like upgrading palette, trying to unlock the stuff you haven't unlocked yet because the bonuses aren't available yet. Unlocking Fuchsia for that extra tachyons is pretty good. And then obviously trying to upgrade some of the ones that either increase gaming to make gaming go a little bit faster, or you can equalize the upgrades on the things that are fastest to upgrade to give you more gaming palette luck, right? Because it's one of the the duper bits. Upgrading and equalizing your upgrades among palette will give you more gaming luck, or palette luck rather, so you are able to unlock the bonuses a bit faster or upgrade them, right? But yeah, you can choose to upgrade like red, orange, for example. Choose to upgrade violet for more account-related bonuses, more double gold food chance, more double statue chance, higher exalt stamp bonus, masterclass resources, kind of depending what you need. You can be more active in gaming depending on what you want to focus on for your account. Bravery 151k, 24k, 24k. You're doing a 5 opal split. I recommend bumping those numbers up to probably around 20 to 25 with your like 400 opals you have. Probably recommend splitting your opals a little bit more than what you have right now. Okay, I see a few things here that you can get through Slab. So these 3 items right here from the treasure hunt series from the World 2 Pig. There's also some party dungeon weapons. I think these are also. Okay, this is a World 2 recipe that you can get. Craftable, 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 craftable. Painful but craftable. These are party dungeon now. Strung bludgeon. This is craftable. You have a few items in Slab that you're missing that should be easy for you to complete. Some more painful than others, but yeah, you're missing like gem shop items you see here. Early quest for strung bludgeon. Then that means some of the early quest items might be redeemable. If you look at your previous completed quests, might be able to redeem it. Strung bludgeon. Yeah, this might be quest related. I can't remember. Look at Wiki, More Slab's good because it gives you more power. Pretty good. More divinity points, also pretty good. 280 crops. Yeah, look at Wiki. Oh, 349 endless. Cool. Beanstalk. You're probably at this point maxed out. You're near that. At DB hat. Lots of hats in the limit time shop right now. 269 QQ. Then I imagine, yeah, you have that done. Yeah. You probably want to spend more time farming the Decay Surrounds upgrade here, particularly because it'll give you the Spelunking power, it'll give you more Amber. The Amber here is very impactful as you get deeper runs. The Overstim fill rate I don't have, so I can't really speak to if it's good or not, but maybe you want to consider trying to get Overstim fill rate. As you focus on base Spelunking efficiency, obviously going for this is going to be easier, so maybe focus on Decay Surrounds for a little bit. Get a bunch of these chapters unlocked and try to get more of the Amber Found upgrades to help you progress Spelunking, because Spelunking is all about trying to get more Amber per day, getting higher, better runs, so you can get that daily haul pretty much on your daily reset. Also, occasionally remember to go back to Advice Fish. This is on the Doodlefins map. It's kind of a secret location. I guess I can show, maybe. Hold on. Total power from chapter 2. Yes, it's good to farm. It's a multi to Spelunking power. unfortunate. Okay, I can show it now. Cool. So the secret fish that is there, that's the doodle fish map. You go down here, go down these random steps here, and then this little advice fish will be here. Costs a lot of these last tier of coins, so you need a lot of them. But they give you some pretty useful things like class EXP, gold food double drop chance, kill per kill in World 7 to help you push portals a little bit faster. Spelunking AFK gains is massive for scrolls, obviously. Then you have max stamina and spelunking. It's okay. And then faster mob respawn. This will help you push things a lot faster because this is a multiplier to pushing power, essentially, right? Actually, now I gotta fight. I'm gonna actually start leveling up the card because I need to do that. Keep these rings on, why not? Okay. Do you think Lava will give everyone the premium hat that they have in Slab? I hope so. It was a pretty popular choice people wanted to do. Yeah, I gotta move my V-Man over to the second chapter. Okay, back onto the review. That's the advice fish. Clamworks. Okay, probably recommend doing Clamworks a little bit until you get at least the Meritocracy multi. As we talked about with the arcade shop, Meritocracy is really, really good. So highly recommend trying to get this at least to worker class 4 so you get that Meritocracy multi bonus, because it's very good. It's meta defining, really, really powerful. Anything beyond that, in my opinion, is probably a little bit difficult to push. I'm trying to get to the gallery bonus multi myself, but it's taking a very, very, very long time to do, because as you progress the Mussolini takes a power of 10 increase of pearls, and that takes a lot more time. So it's going to take me probably weeks to get here, to be honest, but I think in the long run it's going to be good, because again, gallery bonus multi is it's drop rate multi, it's AFK gain multi, it's a lot of stuff. Zenith market, depending on your drop rate, 205 could be good. 305 is obviously better, considering you don't have a lot of the pay to win pack stuff bought. I completely understand, but I think 205 is a good stopping point. But 305 is good if you have like 2,000 to 3,000 X drop rate, which requires a lot of stuff, and that's like gold food effect, max golden cakes in your character, endless summoning like 350 plus, a lot of pay to win stuff. So yeah, if anything, I'd probably recommend getting the Croc bubble maxed out so you get those extra bubble levels per day. Maybe getting an extra levels here and there for super duper. Probably the Zenith statue one is a good one as well as you get in the statue grind, because more statue effect is nice. And bubble boost is also pretty good because it's more free bubble levels per day. Again, I think the goal here is to try to get to Onyx Coral statue and getting 400 plus Dragon Warrior statue, because that'll give you more coral per day, so you're able to max out the coral reef. Oh, I agree with pretty much everything here. I'm biased. I like the Crockby bubbling, but that's me. Unluckiest lad, 9 dart finish, nice. Emperor 19, okay. Okay, cool. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is starting to get a little bit hoarse. I'm not sure what else to really talk about Chaos specifically, but I think a large focus of your account is going to be coming through like Clamworks, is going to come through statue farming. It's going to be like equalizing gold food across your characters. Honestly, I didn't even look at. Yeah, some of your characters don't have like a standardized amount of cheese. I recommend probably doing that, making sure to equip higher tier bags on them, making sure to give you the rucksack prayer, star sign doublers for carry capacity as well. Trying to equalize that across your characters to level up your shrines a little bit better. To try to get them to like level 31, 32, kind of down the line, kind of what you want to aim for. Maybe candying statues, doing some active DK farming, AFK farming in the hole for Dragon Warrior statue or Villager statue. And obviously, like you said, World 1 for board beans, for World 1 statues, World 2 sandy pots, World 3 dedicated rams, World 4 clammies, World 5 tremor worms, World 6 mini chief spirits, World 7 coral cave guardian, which is the last map for World 7. I guess last thing, as with most people in World 7, just want to make sure, yes, you've done this perfect. If you haven't already, for those of you watching, make sure to to Eclipse Skull every mob in World 7, give you that damage multi, but also that multi-kill per tier. Okay, cool. All right. I'll go ahead and end the review there, Chaos. Relatively short review. I think you know exactly what you need to do, but want to call out some of the minute details you might be missing or things I recommend focusing on. Specifically, the statues there is probably going to be a big thing for your account there. All right. Well, thank you, Chaos. I appreciate it. It was a good account. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye. All right, cool. Water helps with that. I've been chugging. Okay. Hi, Quasar. What's up? Quasar, you have your corner. Yeah, Quasar, you have your cornerback. You've had your cornerback for days. Let's go to Discord, see what you posted. When did you post it? When's a good point for eclipsing World 7? When you finish it? Talking about the gold stamp? Yeah, still costs a lot. Even with a cost reduction. What does Clamworks do? Here are the bonuses so far. Yeah. Send your DB for the wows. Oh, Chaos, you just missed your review. I was informed. Okay. Twitch stream. 12/6/25. $6.25. All right. All right, chat. Well, today's Saturday. Unfortunately, my wife has an office party I need to head to in about a few hours. Like 3. I got 2 hours, and I've had 4 hours of sleep today. So I'm going to end the stream here. I'm going to go take a nap, and then, unfortunately, have to socialize. It's probably going to be the worst day of my life ever. But office parties are always fun, so maybe it'll be the best day ever. Who knows? Anyways, thank you guys for stopping by. As always, I'll see you guys the next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye. And I'll give you get some checkouts. Let's say who's here? Who's leaving? Chatterbox, Nicholas, a nap, getting old. Yeah, I am. JT, thank you for the video, man. Great video as always. Oh, great collaboration. Loved it. Dwarf Pudding, Telegaga, Sloth RNG, Vape Red, Born Reaper, Tree for free. Can Chaos be on Twitch if he's... I don't know. Actually, good question. Shamrock OG, Laystone Fora, oh my god, Von Goller, Royal Gogeta, Dino Clear, Kyung, Tim, Dio Saget, Tofturn, Milkyak, Balaka, Geekona, Lord Barwick, Solaron, thank you for the follow, Space Cowboy 2071, thank you for the follow, Lottie Winkanobi, and Ling FOML, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.